Hello, detective. We meet once again. Hey, hey, Wolfpack, we're back with another surprise tier list. Once again, talking about a famous Batman villain who we will be ranking, the Demon's Head himself, Ra's al Ghul. Or is it Ra's al Ghul? Whatever. Whichever floats your boat. I will be going with Ra's because that's his most popular term. Making sure everything works. Yeah, looks like my mic's on. Yo, how is everyone? AV Scorpio, you're actually the first one here for once. We're going to be doing a ranking on Ra's al Ghul, the Demon's Head, one of Batman's greatest and most powerful foes. Ra's al Ghul is kind of an obscure villain. I know hardcore fans know him, but a lot of normies and people who have a passing knowledge of the Batman mythos aren't too familiar with this guy. Ra's al Ghul is one of Batman's deadliest foes. Basically, he's the antithesis to everything Batman stands for. Ra's al Ghul wants to bring order and justice to the world through horrible and evil methods. Basically, he believes in killing people, purging the evil to replace it with good, and that's what puts him and Batman at odds with each other. Ra's al Ghul and Batman both want the same thing, however, Ra's al Ghul is very willing to cross the line. He is immoral, cold, ruthless, and unempathetic. Ra's al Ghul is basically a ninja sensei who runs an entire powerful criminal organization. Depending on which variant you're following, they're usually called the League of Assassins, but in some cases they're called the League of Shadows, the Organization, or some mysterious vague term, kind of the Illuminati basically. Ra's al Ghul is kind of a James Bond style villain, rather than a full-blown costume supervillain we all know and love. However, Ra's al Ghul has a very vocal fan base, because this actually is a pretty OP villain, and a genuine threat to the Great Dark Knight. How is everyone? Okay, Avi Scorpio, you actually made it early this time. We're fine. It's actually hot here, so now we're trying to stay cool. I know. Yo, hey, John Smith, you made it. Yeah, this tier list wasn't planned, but I decided to do one because I wanted to squeeze in as many Halloween treats as possible. If you're curious, we do have the Monster Musume tier list coming this Halloween. Yeah, sorry, we decided to wait until then to do it, but wanted to have one more before that time, and lo and behold, we're doing another creepy Batman villain. Hello, Tails. I am the League of Shadows. I am here to fulfill Ra's al Ghul's destiny. Yeah, Ra's al Ghul is a pretty interesting character, I will say. Not gonna lie, Ra's al Ghul is not in my top 10 favorite Batman villains, but I do see the appeal of the character. He's cool, he's creepy, he's ruthless, and very much is kind of a dark reflection towards Batman. Ra's al Ghul has the means to do his own nefarious ideals and try to bring justice, or his twisted views of justice, upon the world. But unlike the Dark Knight, Ra's al Ghul is evil. He doesn't mind killing people. He doesn't mind sacrificing lives. He doesn't mind doing a lot of heinous and immoral things to get to his end goal, whereas Batman does have his moral compass. Ra's al Ghul is introduced to be kind of a morally gray villain against Batman, because ultimately, Ra's and Batman both want the same thing. They want justice and good in the world, but Ra's is pretty much a madman willing to kill and do a lot of war crimes. Agree. Oh, hey, another V Scorpio. You changed your image. Okay, glad to see that. So, Ra's al Ghul, I think, is a fine Batman villain. Some versions I love, and some versions I really hate. Honestly, my problem with Ra's al Ghul is I think he's kind of too normal or out of the usual for a Batman villain. I like the costume supervillains. I like the hokey dialogue, the gimmicks, the characters with larger-than-life personalities. Ra's al Ghul's problem, to me, is that I always found him kind of boring. He is very straightforward as a villain, kind of more so a James Bond antagonist, rather than a costume comic book antagonist. He doesn't like wear a costume or do some hokey villain schemes. He actually is kind of a full-blown terrorist, a realistic Batman criminal, albeit with ninjas as his subordinates. Yes, for Halloween. Yeah, wanted to get more done before Halloween time. Yeah, we're gonna do Monster Musume on Halloween, so stay tuned for that. Wolf is going to be joining us, but I wanted to have one more tier list in between then, and this is what I settled on. Ra's al Ghul is actually a pretty fun character to rank because there's a lot of unique interpretations of him. So, Ra's al Ghul has actually had his character intact for the most part in each of his adaptations. However, some are good, some are lame, and some are in between. And I thought this guy would be a fun character to rank because I actually kind of have mixed feelings on Ra's al Ghul and some depictions of him, which we will be going over on this here tier list. We have every Ra's al Ghul from every important media he's appeared in. Sorry, no Lego Ra's al Ghul. We're not counting Lego Ra's because he's kind of just bonus material and not even a major part in the story. He's unlockable in all LEGO games, sometimes DLC, but he doesn't really play a part in the story. And we're not counting cameo Ra's al Ghuls, only the ones who are big parts in their stories, big parts in their media, and are Ra's al Ghuls we all know or are from stuff we know. And some obscure stuff like Gotham Knights. Got all the Ra's al Ghuls who matter or play at least a minor story part in each and every Batman interpretation he guest starred in, and I will be ranking them all up here on this tier list from top best to bottom worst. Ra's al Ghul is a hit or miss villain, like he could be a great or a terrible villain depending on how he's adapted. Yeah, I fully agree, Joseph. Some Ra's al Ghuls are epic, and some not so good. Honestly, I think the worst Ra's al Ghul has ever dropped to was generic, or there are some painfully bad ones on here. Yeah, we do have Son of Batman, Ra's al Ghul, but yeah, kind of hit or miss for me. Some knock it out of the park, and some completely miss. And I'll be ranking them all up here on this tier list. So I'll go over the basic rules if this is your first tier list ever. I'll be taking each and every depiction of the Great Demon's Head and rank them from top best to bottom worst, and I gave him his own unique slots. Up top we have the Demon's Head. These ones, perfect, 10 out of 10s, the greatest depictions of the great Ra's al Ghul ever. Ones I love, ones the fans love, basically characters we think of instantly when we think of great adaptations of Ra's al Ghul. Underneath that, we have Worthy Warrior. These ones are A tier. They're good, not great. Some flaws, some scratches, maybe a criticism here or there, but otherwise pretty decent. I like them, fine. I think they did a good job, and I can see why a lot of other people like them. They were worthy. Then, right smack in the middle, Basic Training. Generic, okay, they exist, they're okay, they're adequate. These are Ra's al Ghuls who basically filled the role and filled the assignment, but didn't really impress. Kind of like a C tier or B tier student. They did fine, they were passable, but nothing to go home writing about. Then underneath that we have Ra's al who? Basically, Ra's al Ghuls I've never seen or don't know anything about. Yeah, sorry, but nothing to say on them. Don't worry, they're not like low or rock bottom bad, but I just never seen them. I don't know what show they're from, what thing they did, or anything about their character. This is characters I do not know. Then underneath that, we have Barely an Al Ghul. These ones are weak, pathetic, the lame ducks, kind of the forgettable Ra's al Ghuls. Complete misses. They did not do anything good for this character. They weren't all that hot, and honestly, I don't hate them enough to say, oh, this is the worst depiction of this character ever. They were just painfully underwhelming. Then at rock bottom, we have Fallen Warrior, the F students, the failures, the total losers, a disgrace to the name Al Ghul, the worst depictions of Ra's al Ghul ever. And I think you all know who might end up down here, but we'll have to go over through this whole list to get to them. But basically, bad Al Ghuls. Okay, checking out the comments. Okay, as you can see, we don't have too many Ra's al Ghuls here. Ra's al Ghul came a lot later compared to other Batman villains. Ra's was not there at the start of Batman. He was a villain added later and slowly snowballed into popularity. He grew bigger, had a lot of fun adaptations of him, and kind of became a major villain in the Batman lore as the franchise went on. Ra's al Ghul was introduced, I believe, in the mid-70s, 70s, 1970s. He came a lot later when Batman was fighting terrorist-level supervillains, a lot of Cold War tension and such, and he was kind of like the face of that. Ra's al Ghul would explode into popularity thanks to shows like Batman the Animated Series, and especially the Nolanverse, where this character kind of became a mainstay in the Batman world. We've had a lot of good, bad, and ugly depictions of this character. Yeah, I really only know one version of the guy, but I want to be here more, so... Okay, thank you, John Smith. Glad you can join us. Honestly, you might recognize or gain some interest in seeing these Ra's al Ghuls. Ra's has appeared in a lot of high-class material. He was even in Brave and the Bold, Under the Red Hood, and of course, Batman the Animated Series, but I plan to rank all of them. Okay, so... Ra's al Ghul is a ninja sensei. He's a master martial artist. Some versions of Ra's actually were the mentor towards Bruce Wayne. Yeah, most famous Batman Begins. He showed Bruce how to fight, showed him how to adapt the high skills of a ninja. Batman is pretty much a martial artist. He learned possibly from Ra's al Ghul in some depictions. However, Ra's wanted Batman to be evil. Ra's wants Batman to continue on his life's work. Ra's al Ghul's most famous trait is he's addicted to the Lazarus Pit. The Lazarus Pit is basically a corrupted fountain of youth. Ra's al Ghul has been alive for centuries. Sometimes he is as old as Vandal Savage, sometimes he was there in the Crusade Wars, or in ancient Egypt and such. Ra's al Ghul has basically lived for centuries. He bathes himself in the Lazarus Pit to give him immortality. It reverses his aging, makes him a young man again, and he has been doing this for years and years and years. Ra's al Ghul formed the League of Assassins, really kind of the Illuminati, a secret organization of highly trained warriors who are trying to basically pull some strings, work from behind the shadows, and do some quote-unquote justice and good for the world. But really, Ra's al Ghul is a deranged madman who wants to simply take over the world. Of course, and he's frequently at odds with Batman. Somehow Batman falls in love with Ra's al Ghul's daughter. It does vary from interpretation. Talia al Ghul is in love with Batman, and depending on which version of Ra's you're following, sometimes he hates the relationship, and sometimes he completely approves of it. The ones who approve of it want Batman and Talia to hook up, so Batman can inherit being the head sensei, the Demon's Head. Ra's al Ghul translates to Demon's Head, and sometimes it's a title passed on to him or his actual name. Ra's al Ghul is pretty much a terrorist, trying to take over the world, trying to pull a lot of incognito military actions, espionage, underground stuff, and usually all of his schemes amount to mass murder and destroying stuff. But yeah, Ra's al Ghul has been in a lot of decent media, as you can see. He has had his backstory kind of change, and how he sees Batman as either a worthy opponent or a constant thorn in his side. And this has actually kind of made the character interesting. He and Batman have a good chemistry with each other in a lot of these adaptations. We had a lot of good Ra's al Ghuls, a lot of bad Ra's al Ghuls, and some in between, and we want to rank them all. So let's finally get this tier list started. So, who was the first Ra's al Ghul? Ra's came a lot later. I believe it was, once again, our favorite show, Batman the Animated Series. Hey, Cat, what's up? Hey, Saga, you made it just in time. We're talking about Ra's al Ghul. Witness the power of my Lazarus Pit. Yeah, we're gonna finally start this tier list, and we should probably start with Batman the Animated Series Ra's al Ghul, David Warner, who, shocker, is going on to S tier. This is the Demon's Head. I just finished The Nightmare Rooms Don't Forget Me yesterday. What'd you think of it, Saga? Okay, so this is Ra's al Ghul from Batman the Animated Series, and lo and behold, that show did it again. It had a huge success with this character. Ra's al Ghul is so awesome in the DCAU. He is creepy, cold, calculating, and multifaceted as a character. This guy has a ton of layers, and they actually succeed at the gray morality behind this character. Believe it or not, Ra's had a ton of build-up in the animated series. We see him from time to time. I believe he comes in the second or third season. Ra's al Ghul was built up big time. Batman actually encounters his daughter, Talia al Ghul, first. Batman and Talia work together to defeat Count Vertigo, because Vertigo is a renegade member betraying Ra's al Ghul. They defeat him and foil his evil scheme, where we set up Ra's al Ghul. Talia reveals that she's working with someone higher. She's working for some new supervillain on the horizon, where we see Ra's al Ghul, played by the great David Warner. And yeah, I love David Warner's performance. He is a iconic voice actor. Warner captures the cold, calculating, mysterious gentleman side of Ra's al Ghul. Ah, detective, we meet once again. I love Warner's voice. He gave Ra's al Ghul a really creepy aura. It was pretty okay, better than the episode version. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Ra's al Ghul, in my opinion, feels like a character who shouldn't be a Batman villain because he feels mostly out of place when comparing to other Batman main rogues gallery. Yeah, I talked about that earlier. Ra's al Ghul is kind of out there as a villain, especially for Batman, but some versions of him are pretty good. I also found some fun fact about the Haunting Hour. Oh, do tell. Do tell, Saga. Okay, so Ra's al Ghul is like heavily built up. He appears like at the end of animated the series episodes, sometimes saying, oh, this is all going according to plan, or I plan to take care of the Dark Knight personally. He is in the shadows being set up and finally makes his move. Ra's al Ghul reveals that he is not a joke. He is not an overconfident villain. He is very much smart. He is ahead of the curve. He is ready for Batman, basically. Batman uncovers a conspiracy and finds out Ra's al Ghul is a legit threat to Gotham City. He has a lot of high-stakes terrorist schemes against Gotham, nearly destroys the city multiple times, uses Talia's love against Bruce. At one point, I believe he kidnapped Robin and threatened to kill Dick Grayson if Batman didn't give in to him. This guy was pretty much one of the deadliest foes Batman ever fought. Batman has always struggled against villains in the show, but Ra's al Ghul was very much OP. He was ready for Batman. Batman defeating him was very much a miracle. He struggled, he endured, and he tried to outwit a brilliant strategist like him. The episode Creature Feature was based on a book from the same name from Marty Engel and Johnny Ray Barnes' book series Strange Matter. Oh, okay. So Ra's al Ghul, I believe he revealed in one of his episodes where he finally has a showdown with Batman, and he plans to destroy half the world. It would kill millions. No. Billions, detective. Billions of people are gonna die, and Talia al Ghul is completely shocked at how far her dad is going. Yet there's a big twist. They don't reveal Talia is his daughter until much later in his story arc. Ra's al Ghul is very much a powerful reoccurring threat towards the Dark Knight, and they have this will they won't they romance with Talia. Ra's al Ghul very much is kind of on the fence about how he feels about his daughter's feelings for Batman. This does have the, oh, who's Talia gonna choose? Her loyalty to her dad or her boyfriend? She still loves the Dark Knight, but she is devoted to her dad. Yeah, kind of why I never liked Talia. She is a complete daddy's girl. But one of my favorite episodes is the one where he actually saves his son and we get a flashback to when Ra's al Ghul and his son fought Jonah Hex. I believe it was called Showdown. Ra's al Ghul broke into like this high facility place and abducted someone. It turns out to be his son, who grew into a very broken, like, dazed senior citizen. His son did not have the Lazarus Pit, and Ra's wanted to take him so he could spend his final days in peace next to his loving father. Ra's al Ghul, a long time ago, actually fought Jonah Hex. Jonah Hex foiled Ra's and his son's scheme to destroy Old West Gotham, but he captured the son and took him in alive to spend the rest of his life in prison, and his son has been in prison for like almost 100 years at this point. He's now like completely scatterbrained, in a wheelchair, can't talk, isn't aware of anything around him, and Ra's actually abandoned his son to Jonah Hex, and he came to regret it, saving his son because he wants to make amends and allow his son to rest in peace. And Batman actually lets Ra's al Ghul go. He finds out that Ra's just wanted to get his son back and give him a peaceful send-off. And yeah, it's actually kind of this very deep, morally gray, heartwarming scene. Ra's finally gets to bid peace with his son and take him away, while Batman actually sees a humane side to the demon's head. And Catching Cold was based on a short story of the same name from Shusterman book Darkness Creeping 2007 collection. The Haunting Hour Wiki needs an update. And also, this Ra's al Ghul is not afraid to go into dark areas. We find out Ra's al Ghul also tried to steal Superman's powers. Yeah, he was that desperate for a power-up. Ra's almost steals the Man of Steel's super strength, but Batman and Superman have a classic crossover, work together, and defeat him. However, we presume Ra's al Ghul died here, but nope, he survived, and we get to his final episode in the DCAU, Batman Beyond. So, Ra's al Ghul has allegedly passed away, and Talia al Ghul is reaching out to Bruce. Talia and Bruce had a very nice romance all throughout the animated series. Talia almost turns good multiple times. We find out she's retired and living in a castle now, and is still eternally young because she's been using the Lazarus Pit. She offers Elder Bruce a chance to dip in the Lazarus Pit because she wants him to continue living and carrying on his life's work now that he's back as Batman. Bruce and Terry actually have a bonding moment. They go there to Ra's al Ghul's castle, and we find out in a really dark and disturbing twist, Talia al Ghul has been dead because her mind is gone. Ra's al Ghul is possessing his daughter. Through their weird League of Shadows tech, Ra's al Ghul planted his mind and soul into Talia al Ghul and has been living inside his daughter's body. Yeah, Talia is not herself. Talia is dead. At least her soul is, and her mind is gone. Ra's al Ghul's brain is in Talia's, and he was trying to seduce his arch-nemesis into becoming his new apprentice. This is all an elaborate trick to get Bruce once again back in the league. Yeah, Bruce does take a dip in the Lazarus Pit, becomes slightly younger, but we get pretty much the highlight of the episode. Young Bruce and Terry kicking butt together, fighting Ra's al Ghul's ninja assassins. Talia was long dead. She paid the ultimate price, and this was actually all a scheme for Ra's to put his mind into the Dark Knight's body. This is how he plans to have the Dark Knight fulfill his purpose as the head demon. That Ra's is going to live on through Bruce. And I do like Bruce's quip, and you hit like a girl. Pretty funny, Kevin Conroy. Ra's versus the Joker. Yeah, we should get more of that. So yeah, you should update it for a reboot review, and I seen a bit of Showdown today, and seen some episodes today, like Pretty Poison, His Silicon Heart, I believe it's Soul, Enchanted Youth, and Underdweller. The one that disappears and one with the robot copies, yeah, that was His Silicon Soul. What would have happened if his daughter and Batman went all the way, or any man? Talia al Ghul has had romances with Bruce Wayne and Bane. Yeah, not sure how the relationship with Bane would have worked out, but we do know Bruce and Talia had a kid together, and that kid turned out to be Damian Wayne. But I do like DCAU Ra's al Ghul, plus he had a really hardcore death scene. Batman Beyond was so cool because it got away with a lot for children's cartoons. Bruce and Terry work together, defeat Ra's al Ghul / Talia, and Talia being controlled by Ra's, and Talia actually dies being blown up. Ra's tries to save the Lazarus Pit, but a wire goes into the stream and blows up the entire castle, killing Ra's and Talia for good. And Bruce mourns for Talia, but is glad Ra's is dead. That is the end of Ra's al Ghul in the DCAU, but honestly, this villain is very awesome. I do like him. David Warner's voice acting is phenomenal. The character design is classic. They would reuse the animated series Ra's al Ghul design a lot in future media, or at least reuse these colors. He's cool, he's cold, he's calculating, and he is a very much larger than life, genuine threat towards the world, and that's why he's going on to S tier. David Warner does a great voice for him. The way he introduces himself is still in my mind. Yeah, and his first dip in the Lazarus Pit is still pretty creepy and bone-chilling. We know the OG plan for Dark Knight Rises was for Joker to have some sort of role, RIP Heath Ledger. Wonder how he would have fit into Bane and Talia's plan. Yeah, me too. I do think they were gonna, try to use him as a distraction or something. Yeah, David Warner's voice acting is awesome. So, of course, animated series Raish is S tier. He is the Demon's Head. Love you, David Warner. You were phenomenal. Alright. Who should we do next? I think we should get a bad Ra's al Ghul out of the way. Let's do Son of Batman Ra's al Ghul, who died in his first movie. Yeah, he's going on to F tier. Son of Batman is a garbage movie. It's the movie that debuts Damian Wayne for mainstream audiences. Batman finds out he has a son, and it turns out this son was being raised in secret by Talia and Ra's al Ghul. So, Ra's is present in the first 10 to 15 minutes of the movie, then he dies. Ra's al Ghul is here, he's elder martial artist sensei, he's training Damian Wayne to be basically the new Demon's Head. He wants Damian to fill his shoes, trains his grandson into being an epic ninja master like him and Bruce. However, Slade is in the movie too. Slade is Ra's al Ghul's best student, and he is completely butthurt and envious that Ra's is going to pass the league on down to this 10-year-old boy. Yes, Slade is completely butthurt, pissed off, and betrays Ra's al Ghul pulling a Starscream because he wants to be the head demon. Why does Damian get it? Because Damian's his grandson. He tries to assassinate the entire Al Ghul family, and unfortunately, he succeeds at killing Ra's. Talia and Damian get away while Ra's buys them time, and Ra's dies, and he doesn't make it to the Lazarus Pit on time. Ra's is completely burned and bombed by Slade. He is literally a foot away from the Lazarus Pit, but he dies. He meets his end, and we see his hand fall. And that's pretty much the end of this Ra's al Ghul. He would actually return again in Teen Titans. It's Justice League versus Teen Titans. Yeah, when Trigon mind rapes the Justice League and they have to fight the Teen Titans, they go to hell to get this MacGuffin to stop him, and Ra's al Ghul shows up as a hell zombie serving Trigon, because Trigon is basically the devil. Ra's al Ghul is a zombie and he fights Damian Wayne, and Damian, being super OP Gary Stu that he is, effortlessly beats his grandfather for the first time, and he proves that he is a better warrior than his evil granddad ever was. Yeah, F this Ra's al Ghul. This is a complete disgrace to the name Al Ghul. Is Ra's al Ghul immortal? Are his methods supernatural? Finally doing the Demon's Head Ra's, I see. Hey, Shadowlink, you made it. You missed us praise David Warner's Ra's al Ghul. I loved this guy. He's on S tier. On our first bad Ra's al Ghul, Son of Batman Ra's. Yeah, remember he was in there for 5 seconds and he died? Yeah, this one is an F tier Ra's. Didn't Ra's had a son? Yeah, he's had multiple children. Some theorize that he's had 1,000 children over the course of his life. He's had Talia, Nyssa. He had a son in Batman the Animated Series. He was the evil outlaw son, but he unfortunately didn't make it. All I could think of was maybe he'd have been doing the trials instead of Scarecrow, but that would still be a lot to trust put in the Joker. Yeah, it would have been. I forgot why he wanted Bruce to be his heir, because in some versions Ra's al Ghul was the one who trained Bruce in his martial arts ways, or he approves of Talia dating him because he sees Batman as a successor. As for Zordoween, Artathon month this year on day 26 was a double feature. Gargantus from Big Bad Beetleborgs and Roboborg from Beetleborgs Metallics. Finally doing the Beetleborgs, huh, Saga? Yeah, I love David Warner. His first dip in the Lazarus Pit in the animated series was awesome. Unlike Son of Batman, Raish, who didn't even make it to his Lazarus Pit. And second was Happy Halloween by X Nairo X, featuring Guzma and his gang and outfit based on their main act Pokemon. Finally doing the Demon's Head. Yep, couldn't agree more with David Warner at S tier. Yeah, he is awesome. Hello, detective. Once again, we cross blades. Love David Warner's performance. Unfortunately, Son of Batman's Raish is so forgettable that you kind of forget he was even in the movie. And Damian and Talia shockingly get past his death. Yeah, Ra's al Ghul's demise is not even mentioned or mourned by Damian. Damian is completely cold and moves on, and Talia pretty much moves on too, but she carries on her father's work in a crappy movie, Bad Blood. Do not recommend it. Yeah, this race sucks. He's a fallen warrior. Alright, which race to do next? I do have to knock out this race I haven't seen. This is the Ra's al Ghul from the Batman Ninja sequel. I did see the first Batman Ninja. I did not watch the sequel. He's going on Ra's al who? Yeah, Ra's al Ghul is apparently in Batman Ninja 2, whatever it's called. I still haven't watched it. Yeah, sorry, I haven't seen this Ra's al Ghul. Just realized that Ra's plans to restore the Earth is like a twisted version of Poison Ivy. Exactly. I mean, their main ace Pokemon. Okay. Next Ra's al Ghul. There's so many to talk about. Let's knock off Dark Tomorrow Ra's al Ghul, who is also going on to Fallen Warrior. Yeah, does anybody remember Dark Tomorrow? I talked about so many Dark Tomorrow entries, and most people in my chat or comments don't remember. Yeah, Ra's al Ghul is the twist villain of Dark Tomorrow. They try to hide it, but like everything else in the game, it is terrible. It's not a good story, and Ra's al Ghul and Talia's silhouettes and all the dark shrouded scenes are so obvious. Yeah, Dark Tomorrow Ra's al Ghul plan to destroy Gotham City once more, using all of Batman's villains to do it. Yeah, F tier, the game sucks, and so does its main villain. Oh god, no. Yeah, Shadow Link, you remember Dark Tomorrow? It's so sad because Cassandra Cain is Batgirl in that game, and it's the only time we've seen Cassandra Cain in the video games. Hey, Fatal Waffle, glad you made it. Break on, though, to the other side by Voltron Z1, featuring Servo Gridman appearing out of the computer. Batman The Dark Tomorrow is not only the worst Batman game, but probably the Superman 64 of Batman games, because it's up there. Agreed, Joseph. It is one of the worst games ever, and Ra's al Ghul being the main villain drags him down to F tier. Okay, alright, so since we got a bigger crowd here, let's talk about a popular Ra's al Ghul. Liam Neeson from Batman Begins. Nolan vs. Ra's al Ghul, who, you guessed it, is going on to Demon's Head. Liam Neeson is one of my favorite actors, and I thought he was a perfect choice for Ra's al Ghul. So, technically, he doesn't start out as Ra's al Ghul. It is a twist that Liam Neeson's character is really the head demon. So, Batman Begins is the origin story of the Dark Knight. We see Batman's beginning. We see how Bruce Wayne trained, practiced, and geared up to be the superhero Gotham needs. And in order to accomplish that, while Bruce is in prison trying to find himself, he bumps into Henry Ducard, who is actually Ra's al Ghul pretending to be a recruiter. Ra's al Ghul recruits Batman to join his martial arts dojo, to train himself and become the skilled warrior he desires to be, testing Bruce and forming an odd friendship along the way. We have like a decoy. There's like this fake out bodyguard pretending to be Ra's al Ghul. I do love the fan theories hinting that the fake Ra's al Ghul Ken Watanabe is actually Ubu in disguise. I do like that fan theory very much. But yeah, we have this fake Ra's al Ghul who stands in for him, and we see Batman passes all the trials, gains all his ninja skills, has proven himself, and he's able to actually fight Ra's in a fair fight. He succeeds in the trials, proves himself. However, there's one more test. Bruce has to kill. He has to kill a criminal. They drag some completely random guy off the streets. Ra's claims he's a criminal and deserves the death penalty. It is very vague, and you do not know if he's telling the truth. You have to kill your enemies. Mercy is something they won't share, but it's what makes us better than them. Bruce is ready to behead this guy, but betrays them. He sets the temple on fire, fights Ra's al Ghul, actually the fake Ra's al Ghul. I do like that it might be Ubu in disguise, and Ra's al Ghul is presumed dead, but not really. He's alive. Ra's al Ghul is revealed to be the twist villain, pulling all the strings, and Batman begins. And we see it's Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson was the real Ra's al Ghul, and this was another secret test or something for Batman. Sorry, catch up on comments. Dark Tomorrow sucks, yep. Just remember that... Oh, he's calling Ra's al Ghul. Ra's implanted his mind into his daughter in Batman Beyond, and how he tried to take over Bruce's body. I did mention that and went over that. Oh, and one more thing. You hit like a girl. Classic Kevin Conroy. And today it was Drago from Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad, also known as in Gridman, the Hyper Agent Dyna Dragon. What's sad is that Cassandra Cain doesn't get that many adaptations outside of comics, and when she does appear, it's mostly forgettable or terrible. Oh yeah, Cassandra Cain was bastardized by the Birds of Prey movie. Poor Cassandra Cain. We have not seen many good adaptations of her. Off the top of my head, the best one I remember is Young Justice, but she was like in an ensemble cast, and you kind of forget she was in that show. And today's artwork was Halloween Pokemon Day 28, Dreams Electric Sheep by Zach Z, featuring Porygon in the virtual world, dreaming of electric sheep, or in this case, Mareep. My one complaint is how this race isn't that race. Also, there's no pit. Bane introduced the pit, and it was kind of a metaphor of dying and being reborn. Yeah, it was lame. Okay, love Liam Neeson's Ra's al Ghul. He honestly looks a lot like the animated series Ra's, minus the cool cape, of course. This Ra's al Ghul actually forms an odd friendship with Batman, and I really enjoy that. We see he gains respect for Bruce, practically raises him himself, teaches him in his ways, and Ra's is at first a hard-ass teacher, but grows to respect Bruce, and they become friends. Bruce even saves Ra's al Ghul's life even when they fall off a cliff. This spared his life, but it turns out, nope, he's still alive and kicking, and he's really the head demon. He plans to save Gotham City by destroying it. So a lot of things are set up throughout Batman Begins. We find out he's working with Scarecrow, he was working with the mob, trying to pull some strings to set up his ultimate villain plan. They stole the weird machine that can vaporize an enemy's water supply and reverse engineered it to spread the fear gas. They were working with Scarecrow, and Ra's al Ghul wants to destroy Gotham by spreading fear gas all across Gotham City to force the people to destroy each other. Yeah, Gotham is beyond saving, and Ra's has completely written it off as a lost cause. Basically, this is Protocol 10, but with fear gas. Ra's and the Scarecrow work together. Sadly, Scarecrow is downgraded to a side villain in the climax, but he has that epic fight with Bruce on the subway train, planning to unleash this fear gas nuke into the core of Wayne Industries, which will completely make the gas irreversible and spread it everywhere, destroying the entire city. And yeah, this Ra's al Ghul is also pretty kick-ass. Love Liam Neeson's performance. Love his awesome one-liners, his creepy aura, and he and Bruce actually have a more personal relationship in this movie, making them ultra cool. Is Lazarus, that's Ra's Lazarus Pit. Ra's uses it to stay alive and stay young. Magic, science, or both. Ra's claims it's magic, but Bruce has analyzed that there's some properties in the water that give it its magic. But yeah, I would lean more towards magic. Lazarus Pit is magic. Yeah, I was gonna say, someone Bruce and us, the audience, are told is a criminal anyway. Yeah, they kind of keep it vague. Ra's al Ghul says the guy they were gonna kill was a criminal, but honestly, I was kind of thinking, wouldn't it be something if this guy was, like, actually innocent or did a very minor crime? They list his crimes, but it's not really worthy of being full-blown executed. Also, I didn't know you made that became, Also, I didn't know you made that. I came in after you finished David Warner Race. Yeah, sorry, Anime Night. We finished David Warner on Liam Neeson, who is underrated. My first time watching Batman Begins, I didn't expect the Ra's al Ghul twist or Roz being the main villain at all first time viewing. Yeah, it was kind of a shocker. Ra's al Ghul is set up in this movie. We believe he died, but no, Liam Neeson was Ra's al Ghul all along, the real Ra's, and he burns Wayne Manor down, so he did win some achievement. You burnt my house down to the ground, now I do the same to you. Even that universe forgot about her Suicide Squad 2. Harley's just back in Belle Rev with barely a hand wave. Ha ha ha. Really dumb. Gentlemen, it's time to spread the word. And that word is panic. And Liam Neeson wears like this cool Sub-Zero mask. Yeah, that's how he avoids the fear gas. Ra's al Ghul puts on a ninja mask and hilariously looks like a Mortal Kombat character in the climax. But it did begin the Nolan collab that eventually gave us Oppenheimer. Yeah, I remember Cillian Murphy plays the Scarecrow in Batman Begins and kind of became a main Nolan go-to actor in the rest of his film career. Don't be afraid, Bruce. You were strong enough to save this. You were strong enough to save this city, and you can't be strong enough to stop this train. Who said anything about stopping it? And yeah, Ra's also has the most epic death. Kind of ironic that his daughter Talia has the worst death scene, or possibly Bane for some people. Talia and Bane have the worst death scenes, but Ra's al Ghul gets like the top tier death scene in these movies. Yeah, Bruce stops the train and we get the infamous line, "I'm not gonna kill ya, but I don't have to save ya." And yeah, there's been a lot of fan debates about that. Okay, so technically Bruce isn't a killer, but also not saving him is kind of killing him in a way. Yeah, Bruce destroys and derails the subway and leaves Ra's al Ghul trapped inside. And Ra's actually sits back, embraces death, and closes his eyes, and he dies horribly. The train crashes, catches on fire, and blows up. Yeah, pretty much, if there was any question that Ra's would come back or there'd be a Lazarus Pit revival, nope, that body is extra crispy. Yeah, love Liam Neeson's performance. He's really cool, really badass. Love that he actually nearly succeeds at destroying Gotham City. Yeah, this was before the Joker, too. Ra's was honestly close to succeeding and nearly destroyed Batman. Bruce was actually gonna give up once his family home was burnt down to the ground, and Ra's reveals that he's been steps ahead of him all along. Like, I lost everything, Alfred. Master Bruce, why do we fall? So we can learn to pick ourselves back up. Yeah, really heartwarming scene. Alfred also KO'd one of Ra's ninjas. That guy is secretly badass. Imagine Captain Crazy, his clown posse met the Joker. That would have been crazy. DC Universe has crossovers with Mortal Kombat vs. DC. I do remember that game. So Ra's wearing a ninja mask that looks like Sub-Zero, isn't that surprising? I just found it kind of funny. It's like very clearly like a Sub-Zero mask or a recycled prop. Yeah, he wears that basically to avoid breathing in the fear gas. Ra's al Ghul is pretty cool, slick, badass in this, and Liam Neeson gives him a ton of that great villain energy. I think this is a total S tier Ra's al Ghul, or Ra's al Ghul if you watch Nolan's movie. Yeah, he kind of returns in Rises. My brother Wolf did like this. Ra's al Ghul appears as like a ghost to Bruce in the pit, and that's how he's immortal. I told you, Ra's al Ghul never dies. Yeah, Roz does kind of return in Rises, but that was like a ghost dream. Yeah, Liam Neeson makes a cameo, and we see a younger Ra's al Ghul when he had Talia al Ghul saved from the pit. Yeah, it was definitely interesting to see this character come back, but Ra's al Ghul is not really immortal. Yeah, he was in Rises, but that was like a ghost/dream, which was nice to see despite being a minute. Almost made me miss him in Begins with what the unfortunate letdown we would get later. Yeah, Talia was definitely no successor to Ra's al Ghul. Also, imagine the Nightmare Room Monsters was in the Jack Black Goosebumps movie. That would have been pretty cool. I wonder, would Roz fit in with the cast of Mortal Kombat or the world of MK? I think he would. Ra's al Ghul could totally take on Shao Kahn. Yeah, Ra's kind of makes a cameo in Rises. We see a younger Ra's al Ghul when he was a mercenary, how he worked his way up to being the demon's head, because the main villain is the child of Ra's al Ghul, and we're led to believe it's Bane, but anyone who knows anything about Batman knows that's total BS and saw the twist coming a mile away. No, it was Talia al Ghul. Bane fell in love with Talia in the pit, and Ra's al Ghul saved her. Then Talia eventually came back for Bane. Yeah, Bane saved Talia. Talia made it out of the pit. Ra's al Ghul's goons came in and saved Bane, leading to Bruce suspecting that Bane was actually Ra's kid. But Bane almost looks like he's roughly the same age as Liam Neeson. But yeah, Bane is saved, and we find out it was Talia all along, carrying on Ra's al Ghul's legacy. And she ultimately failed. But nevertheless, Liam Neeson's Ra's al Ghul is S tier. I like this depiction of the character. He is awesome in Batman Begins, and definitely a worthy foe to face the Dark Knight. Agreed. It's the obvious metaphor. He's immortal because his ideology lived on, but it would have been better pulled off fine if Talia was written better. Absolutely. I did something in mind with you, and it's like, what if you rank the Nightmare Room, but not the TV series, the books? Unfortunately, I haven't read all the books. I read all the ones that got turned into episodes, plus the Shadow Girl. Which one, the scariest book, or Big Rotten Monster Blood 4 Eggs? Okay, so to wrap up Liam Neeson's Ra's al Ghul, yep, he's an all-star. Going on to S tier, he is a demon's head. Next, let's knock off a bad one. Injustice Ra's al Ghul, who is barely an Al Ghul. Yeah, got our first D-list Ra's al Ghul. Yeah, do you guys remember Ra's al Ghul is in the Injustice movie as the final villain? Yeah, not Regime Superman, Injustice Ra's al Ghul. So, after Superman becomes evil Regime Superman, minus all the irredeemable traits, he forms an alliance with Ra's al Ghul. Ra's and Damian go to Superman and help him build his regime. It turns out Ra's al Ghul gave up on making the Batman his successor, so he wants Regime Superman to be his successor. And they go to like Antarctica or something, and big shock, Ra's completely betrays them because he built a death machine that will kill everyone. Nope, I don't remember him shadowing. Okay. Injustice movie blows. Yeah, it does. Ra's al Ghul is a twist villain, and basically he's a guy Damian Wayne fights. Yeah, nice try, DC, but I still do not like Damian Wayne. Basically, Ra's al Ghul calls Damian a disgrace to his legacy, and serves as the final boss for Little Robin. Robin turns against Ra's al Ghul, fights him, and basically he gives up his family, realizing that, surprise, Ra's is a toxic, evil abuser, and he should have stayed loyal to his dad, Batman. Who didn't see that one coming? Yeah, Ra's al Ghul fights and then gets killed by Damian, and I believe Deadman Dick Grayson. Yeah, long story short, Nightwing died. He was killed hilariously anticlimactically. Then he became this universe's Deadman. Deadman and Damian work together and defeat Ra's al Ghul, destroying his death machine, so he could have the final moment with Regime Superman. Yeah, barely an Al Ghul. He's barely in the movie, and some people might forget Ra's was even a vital part in the final act. I don't remember Ra's being in Injustice 1 or 2, or even in the Injustice prequel comics. Allegedly, he was in one of the prequel comics. I have not read all of them, but apparently he was at some point. He worked with Regime Superman to build up his giant regime. So I guess you're not looking forward to Brave and the Bold since Damian Wayne is going to be Robin in it. No, I am not. I would prefer we see Tim Drake finally in a movie, but nope. We met the Pink Ninja Floyd in MK1. How well would he get along with the rest of the MK characters if he became playable in the sequel? I think he'd be pretty funny, kind of like the Dan Hibiki of Mortal Kombat. Yeah, Injustice movie blows, and shockingly, Ra's al Ghul being crammed last minute also blows. Barely now Ghul, just forgettable. Alright, speaking of speaking of Brave and the Bold, we'll bump off Batman the Brave and the Bold Ra's al Ghul, who is going on to basic training. Yeah, this guy is barely a character or presence in Brave and the Bold. Ra's al Ghul, I swear, is introduced in the final season of Brave and the Bold. Yeah, this guy who's like one of the biggest Batman foes ever doesn't even get set up until very, very late. Brave and the Bold Ra's al Ghul only has 2 episodes and honestly doesn't really get time to shine. He doesn't get a lot of screen time or spotlight, and he's basically a rehash of animated series Ra's al Ghul, to the point where they even designed him like him. Yeah, we're kind of supposed to pretend this is basic Ra's al Ghul, the exact same one you've seen in the Kevin Conroy cartoon, and he had like 2 episodes. Ra's al Ghul is in the sidekicks focused episode, where all the heroes' sidekicks work together to try to prove to the adult heroes that they're men, they're mature, they can take on this guy alone, but no, it's Ra's al Ghul, it's too dangerous for you boys. And we get a team up with Dick Grayson, he's still Robin at this point, Speedy, Roy Harper, and Garth, Aqualad. 3 of the sidekicks team up, and I do find it funny that Dick Grayson has a crush on Talia al Ghul. Talia does not reciprocate. Yeah, Talia saves them from a death trap and actually point blank rejects Dick Grayson, causing Roy and Garth to riff on him. That part was pretty funny. But yeah, they work together and actually foil Ra's al Ghul, and oddly, Ra's al Ghul wants Dick Grayson to be the demon's head. Yeah, not Bruce. He wants Dick Grayson. He wants Robin to join him, be his heir, his apprentice, and take over. Robin, of course, says heck no. He rejects him, and the sidekicks finally get a victory. And in this episode, it's where Dick Grayson goes from being Robin to Nightwing. Yeah, kind of last minute, but Dick Grayson gives up being Robin, decides he wants to be his own man, finally leave Bruce's shadow, becoming Nightwing. And tragically, they give him his worst design. It's that weird 70s jumpsuit he had, and it looks pretty goofy. Yeah, I know it's a love letter to the Silver Age, but man, does it look weird. But Ra's al Ghul would make one final appearance. I believe he's the penultimate episode of Brave and the Bold, where he has a giant fortress that's going to kill everything, and we get a Batman versus Ra's al Ghul official episode. Talia saves Bruce, and I will give credit, this Ra's was willing to kill Talia when she sided with the Dark Knight over him, and I kid you not, Ra's and Batman have a lightsaber fight over his fortress. Yeah, Batman pulls out a lightsaber and he and Ra's fight with laser swords. Yeah, it's lightsabers. They fight over a giant, like, cliffside, and Ra's actually dies in this cartoon. Yeah, Batman defeats Ra's al Ghul, he's not gonna kill him, but I don't have to save ya. And while trying to kill Diedrich Bader Batman, he falls to his death, and that's the last time we ever see Ra's al Ghul. He's allegedly dead, but if you know Ra's, she might be back, but he has like a good old-fashioned falling off a cliff into an abyss death. Yeah, so unfortunately this Ra's al Ghul is kind of barely a character. More focus is on the sidekicks in the first episode, and Ra's is basically an obstacle. He gets some of his classic personality, but that's about it. He's a very basic Al Ghul. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to Brave and the Bold, but did you hear John Smith? James Gunn might not be the head of DC anymore because Peacemaker Season 2 Epic failed, and Warner Brothers is being bought out now. Ra's was in Black Adam's ending in Injustice 2. That's right, he was, but we're not going to count that either because it's a cameo. I think Ra's had one opening episode and one main episode focus, and that it was in Season 2. Okay. Never mind, haven't seen Batman Brave and the Bold in a long time. I haven't seen it either, but this Ra's I remember not being super impressive. Barely a character. All I remember is he died at the end of his final episode. Yeah, he's going on to basic. Alright, next we'll knock off Gotham Knights Ra's al Ghul, who dies in the opening cutscene. Yeah, he's going on to barely an out Ghul. Do you guys remember the Gotham Knights video game? The one that was supposed to replace the critically acclaimed Arkhamverse? After the Arkhamverse allegedly ended and we haven't gotten a game in years until Kill the Justice League, Gotham Knights was supposed to help entertain Arkham fans, where we follow the Bat family sidekicks fighting criminals. And Ra's al Ghul is in the opening cutscene, and that's it. Ra's al Ghul kills the Batman. Yeah, I call BS too. We cut to Ra's al Ghul and Batman fighting to the death in the Batcave. Ra's al Ghul is like pumped up in demon armor. He's glowing from the Lazarus chemicals, and he finally decides he's going to break into the Batcave and solo the Dark Knight. We see a long cutscene. I swear this cutscene is almost like 15 to 20 minutes of Batman fighting Ra's al Ghul, and Ra's succeeds at killing the Batman. Ra's al Ghul and Batman kill each other in this fight, and it kickstarts the plot to the Gotham Knights game. Alright, Ra's was barely in this, basically an afterthought. Yeah, Ra's al Ghul dies, so Talia al Ghul can take over. Talia is now the head demon. Talia is the leader of the League of Assassins, and is working with the Court of Owls, prompting the Bat family to have like a rocky relationship with Talia, because basically it was her dad who killed their dad. Yeah, Ra's al Ghul is in the opening cutscene, and honestly looks pretty cool, pretty sick. I do like this fight between them, but both he and Batman die. They don't come back, there's no big twist, no fake outs, no alternate ending, no big reveal that, oh, Ra's and Batman are still alive, but now are both in like a Lazarus pit or something, or brainwashed by Talia. No, Ra's and Batman both die, and that is it. I will say it does kind of make sense that out of all the villains to finally kill Batman, Ra's al Ghul is definitely one of them, but he's barely in this. He's in the opening for like a 15-minute cutscene, then he dies. That is it. Barely an Al Ghul. Question, who should buy Warner Brothers Discovery? Because this is a buyout no one is looking forward to. I'm not either, but I would say Netflix or Universal Studios. I trust them more. I do not trust Paramount buying them. I think Paramount will screw it up. Though, if Paramount does buy them, that means we might get Batman versus the TMNT 2. Alright, yeah, he was barely an afterthought. This Ra's al Ghul, lackluster, very forgettable. Alright, speaking of which, let's do Beware the Bats. Yeah, have you guys remembered this cartoon, Beware the Batman, where in the first season, Ra's al Ghul is the arch villain, played by Wesker himself, Lance Reddick. Yeah, the worst Wesker. He's going on to basic training. Yeah, this Ra's al Ghul is ultimately basic, a very generic depiction of the Great Demon's Head. So, Beware the Batman is a interesting cartoon. It had some things I like, but a lot of things I dislike, and honestly, the biggest problem of the show was that it was painfully average. It was very mediocre, very meh, basically a generic introduction to Batman. But to spice things up, we get a big twist that Ra's al Ghul is the first arch villain. So, we actually meet Lady Shiva and Silver Monkey first. I love Lady Shiva in this cartoon. She's hot, she's cool, she's sophisticated, and also a total badass ninja master. Yeah, Lady Shiva is introduced, and she's kind of the real heavy doing all the League of Assassins dirty work. It turns out Lady Shiva was working with Anarchy to get this special crate, which had fragile cargo in it, and at the end of the episode, we learn Lady Shiva was picking up a crate with Ra's al Ghul's corpse. Ra's al Ghul was being delivered to the League of Assassins, and Anarchy tried to manipulate Lady Shiva into doing his dirty work for him in exchange for getting her boss back. Lady Shiva succeeds and gets Ra's al Ghul's body, where he's revived in the Lazarus Pit, played by Lance Reddick, who honestly does a very meh job. Lance Reddick is a good actor, but they did not give him enough to do or work with. No good lines that made him stand out. Lady Shiva revives Ra's al Ghul, and he takes over as the arch villain in the first season. Ra's al Ghul wants to destroy Gotham City. Yeah, very basic villain scheme. Ra's al Ghul actually causes a blackout in Gotham City, tries to turn it into a no man's land, but with the help of Batman and Katana finally working together, they defeat Lady Shiva and Ra's al Ghul, and Ra's is defeated by Katana using the Soul Taker sword to unleash all the souls it killed to kill Ra's al Ghul. In this cartoon, Katana's magical sword, the Soul Taker blade, was actually Ra's al Ghul's. The Soul Taker sword belonged to the League of Shadows, and Ra's al Ghul used this to kill many of his enemies. He uses it when he's unleashed, and Katana and Batman finally take the sword back and unleash all the souls to kill Ra's al Ghul, where they drag him down a bottomless pit. And we never see him ever again. Rumor has it that we probably would have seen this Ra's al Ghul again in a future season, but Beware the Bat got cancelled. Lance Reddick and John Noble getting some Sid degrees of separation between Fringe and Batman here. I don't want Netflix because I'm one of those people. I like the theater. Yeah, me too. Isn't Ra's supposed to be Bruce's father-in-law since Bruce married his daughter Talia in some adaptations and had Damian Wayne, who is his grandson? So why is Ra's being a villain? Well, ultimately, Ra's is also kind of a madman. He sees killing and destroying Gotham City as the best way to heal it. Yeah, basically, he's a self-righteous, arrogant terrorist who believes he's a freedom fighter. Alright, I like Lance Reddick, but he barely did anything. This Ra's al Ghul was a generic doomsday villain of the highest order. This is the most basic, mediocre Ra's I've ever seen. Basically, suave, sophisticated ninja master, talks like a gentleman even though he's doing evil and heinous things, and wants to destroy Gotham City by turning it into a no man's land. And then nuking it, I believe. He and Lady Shiva recruit this science guy to build a nuke for them, and it's oddly kind of similar to the Dark Knight Rises plot, but this time Risha and Talia are together. And Lady Shiva is a much cooler villain. I like Lady Shiva a lot more than Ra's al Ghul. Honestly, Ra's should have been saved for a future season, but he appears, dies, and we have a seeming cliffhanger that he might be back. Yeah, basic Ra's al Ghul. He did the job, and that was it. Okay, 6 degrees of separation. Insert "she's got your back" joke here. This is Katana. She's got my back. You know, I might have to do a tier list on Beware the Batman just to talk about it with you guys and see your reactions to all the crazy and weird decisions that show made. Unfortunately, Ra's al Ghul, this one is basic. Not worth talking about. Lady Shiva was much, much cooler. Loved her in that cartoon. Yeah, Lady Shiva and Professor Pig and Mr. Toad, they were the best villains. Alright, let's get off another bit Ra's al Ghul. Let's do Under the Red Hood Ra's al Ghul, played by Lucius Malfoy himself, Jason Isaacs. This one is going on to Worthy Warrior. Okay, so Ra's al Ghul has a minimal plot in Under the Red Hood, but he does have a very relevant part in the story. Jason Isaacs plays Ra's al Ghul, and this is like the first sympathetic, morally gray Ra's al Ghul. Yeah, remember Ra's is in Under the Red Hood. It turns out Ra's al Ghul is responsible for Jason Todd's death, alongside the Joker. Ra's al Ghul hatched some villain scheme to destroy a country, but he needed a distraction to hold off the Dark Knight, and he turned to the Joker. Ra's teamed up with the Joker and had Joker distract the Dark Knight. Unfortunately, Joker, being unstable and an agent of chaos like he is, abducted and killed Jason Todd. Ra's al Ghul found this out very late, that Joker was not supposed to kill Jason Todd. He was not supposed to kill Batman and Robin, but unfortunately, if you read the comic, the mission went south. Joker abducted Jason, beat him to death, and then blew him up despite Batman. Ra's al Ghul, out of complete guilt and sympathy towards his rival, decided to do something good, use the Lazarus Pit to revive Jason Todd. Unfortunately, he came back damaged. And Ra's al Ghul is the one who saved Jason Todd's life. He dipped him in the Lazarus pit. Jason Todd came out, went insane, killed a few of his guards, and then was lost forever. He believed Jason was dead. He killed himself again, but survived a fall off a 2,000-foot castle. Yeah, he somehow survived that fall. Jason Todd jumped off a building, died, he fell into like a crevice, was never seen again until now. Jason Todd, spoilers, is the Red Hood, and he's carrying on Batman's crusade through his own disturbed, warped mindset. Ra's al Ghul contacts Batman again, or I should say Batman searches him. Batman realizes that the only way his son could have come back to life is through the Lazarus pit, and Batman actually beats up Ra's al Ghul, threatens to like dislocate his shoulder, but Ra's al Ghul actually makes peace with Batman, sympathizes with him, and tells him the story, that this was all his fault, that he tried to atone for his mistakes. He didn't want anyone to die on this criminal scheme, and offered to help Batman by saving his boy, and he realizes it's his fault that Jason Todd's back and as the Red Hood. Batman and Ra's actually kind of part ways peacefully at the end of this movie. Yeah, the one highlight here is Batman and Ra's are no longer enemies, and Ra's realizes that he's done too much damage and kind of goes into hiding, realizing that the plot of the movie is his entire fault. Batman fights Jason Todd, and the last we ever see of Ra's, she's like in an airplane heading off to parts unknown. I'm kind of not surprised Ra's keeps trying to destroy Gotham in almost every adaptation, because I think it will establish that Gotham is cursed, and it shows in almost every version. Yeah, Gotham City is kind of a shithole. Okay, so this Ra's al Ghul sadly does not have as much screen time as Warner or Neeson, but I really like Jason Isaacs' performance as Ra's, as kind of this reluctant villain trying to atone for his mistakes, hanging out in his castle and trying to make peace with Batman. Ra's al Ghul has seemingly retired from crime, but as we all know, that's usually temporary. But he had a pretty good role in the movie. I'll give him an A for effort. This is definitely a worthy warrior. Alright, I think we should knock off another known Ra's. Okay, we'll do Young Justice Ra's al Ghul. Young Justice Ra's al Ghul, played by the great Oded Fehr from the Mummy movies. I love Oded Fehr as a voice actor. Ra's al Ghul is one of the members of the Light, but not in the final season anymore. Ra's al Ghul is going on to worthy warrior. I really like Oded Fehr's voice acting for Ra's al Ghul. This is very much a veteran experience, been there, done that Ra's al Ghul. So, Young Justice is a very unique show. I do like it up until Season 4. Season 4 was garbage. Ra's al Ghul is one of the members of the Light. If you don't know what that means, the Light are basically the Legion of Doom. The Light are a villain council who overrule a society of supervillains. The Light are the Legion of Doom, and they have 7 head members in Vandal Savage's inner circle. And one of the chief members was Ra's al Ghul. Yeah, Ra's is one of the Light Council members. He's there with Vandal Savage and Queen Bee and Clarion. He helps run the Legion of Doom. We see traces of him appearing from time to time. He's usually like hidden behind this light screen because they're called the Light. He finally steps into the spotlight along with Vandal Savage, showing that they're the heads of the Legion of Doom. And to his credit, he is pretty badass. This guy is basically the one bankrolling the entire Legion of Doom. Ra's al Ghul has a ton of money, a ton of resources, often gives his ninja henchmen out. We do see he does run the League of Shadows up until Ra's al Ghul apparently got dethroned by Deathstroke. Yeah, Slade apparently stole the League of Assassins from under him and is now a member of the Light. Ra's al Ghul got dethroned and is no longer a part of Vandal Savage's council because Deathstroke pulled a Starscream, and now he's in charge of the League. Yeah, I did not like that they're kind of hinting that Son of Batman happened in this universe. It is not a good movie, and I did not like that Ra's al Ghul lost the League of Assassins. He's like hidden on an island with a few of his loyalists, one of them being Jason Todd, who's like a red-hooded ninja, and we see Talia al Ghul gave birth to Damian Wayne in Young Justice. I do like Oded Fetter's performance, has this very suave, sophisticated, wicked culture tone to him. He's also pretty badass. The one iconic moment from this race is we actually see him die when the Light have a meeting with the Reach and they realize both sides have been betraying each other. Black Beetle ends up murdering Ra's al Ghul. He's like stabbed through the back and we see him impaled for like a second, but Ubu ends up saving him. And yeah, they do confirm the Lazarus Pit is canon because Ra's al Ghul is alive and walking next season. But yeah, I think this one is pretty underrated. I like him. He's pretty cool. Has this kind of gentleman villain aura around him. Like Oded Fehr as an actor, so he was definitely a good voice, though Oded was much better as Dr. Fate, but as a villainous gentleman character, I'll put him onto Worthy Warrior. Alright, now we're getting some bigger Ra's al Ghuls. Next, I'll knock off DC Superhero Girls Ra's al Ghul, who, honestly, I thought was okay. I'm gonna put him onto basic training. Yeah, he's definitely better than Beware the Batman Ra's. Yes, Ra's al Ghul was in DC Superhero Girls, and if you can't tell by the animation, it was the G2 Lauren Faust cartoon. He's actually kind of a twist villain in one of their first half-hour episodes. It was always fun to see them do a half-hour episode because it meant they had a complete story. Ra's al Ghul turns out to be the manager of this evil rock band who are brainwashing teenagers. Ra's al Ghul wants to destroy the city by brainwashing a bunch of rowdy punk teenagers, one of them being Supergirl, with his musical magic. Ra's al Ghul has like a band who plays hypnotic music and lyrics, and it brainwashes an entire concert full of people into being his obedient brainwashed slaves. And unfortunately, one of the victims is Supergirl. Kara is kind of a punk tomboy in this cartoon, and she snuck out to go to a concert, ended up mesmerized by Ra's al Ghul. Ra's al Ghul honestly has a pretty cool design. He's set up as this manager, this cool laid-back guy. He's hanging out in like the VIP skybox and actually controlling everything from within here. And we see him turn into like a prototype version of his iconic suit he wears in other media. I do like this kind of depiction of him. Finish my Scooby count, so I am here. Thanks, Shadow. You made it just in time. We got like 5 more good Ra's al Ghuls to go over. We're on Superhero Girls Ra's al Ghul. So, Ember from Danny Phantom. Yeah, except Ra's actually isn't in the band. He manages the band. He's like watching them as they perform the concert. And the Superhero Girls have to team up and fight Ra's al Ghul and a brainwashed Supergirl. Ra's puts 2 and 2 together, realizing that Kara is Supergirl. And he plans to destroy Gotham City by using a bunch of unkempt, expendable teenagers as cannon fodder. Yeah, Ra's is taking all the punks off the streets and using them to do his bidding, and if they die, he doesn't care because they're all a bunch of gang kids and punks who love bad music, so yeah, they mean nothing to him. They have to fight him and brainwash Supergirl, and of course, eventually defeat him because the Superhero Girls, like, win in every episode. Yeah, kind of like Ember from Danny Phantom, except Ra's doesn't sing. He does have, like, a music video montage, but I don't think he sung in it. At least I can't remember. Yeah, I'll put him onto basic training. He only had the 1 episode, and that was kind of it. They were allegedly going to set him up for future episodes. Not sure if Talia al Ghul exists because Ra's al Ghul is like a young adult in this show, and it would be kind of weird if his daughter was here too, and she's like the same age as him. Yeah, him I'm gonna put on to basic training. I have to go, Cat. Bye. Bye, Joseph. Glad you came. Alright, next, let's get another bad one out of the way. Ra's al Cthulhu! Yes, really. This is Ra's al Ghul from The Doom That Came to Gotham in his final form, and he's going on to Fallen Warrior. Batman, The Doom That Came to Gotham was a movie that had so much potential, could have been so awesome. I was looking forward to seeing it. Batman versus Lovecraftian monsters. And it kind of disappointed. There were some high marks, a lot of good scenes, some good ideas. I love Mr. Freeze from this movie. Mr. Freeze from Lovecraftian World. He is one of the coolest monsters in it. Unfortunately, Ra's al Ghul is easily the lamest monster. So, Ra's al Ghul is set up and teased at all throughout the movie. Ra's al Ghul is the head of the cult of Cthulhu. And this is his final form at the end of the movie, but I chose it because it was the most memorable moment from him. Ra's al Ghul is a cult leader in this movie, and he's assembled all the cult to finally summon the Ancient Ones to come here and destroy the world, starting with Gotham City. Talia al Ghul is kind of the main antagonist. She's doing most of his bidding and dirty work for him, but we find out her father, Ra's al Ghul, is still alive after a million centuries, and this was because Ra's al Ghul was touched by the Ancient Ones, given immortality from them, and in the final battle, Ra's al Ghul sheds his humanity, revealing that he's Ra's al Cthulhu. Yeah, this was kind of where I gave up on the movie. Ra's al Ghul and Cthulhu are the same person. That is the big twist we build up to. Ra's al Ghul becomes Cthulhu here, kind of like a hybrid version of how his human form looked along with Cthulhu, and he trounces the Dark Knight. He finally achieved ultimate power. The Ancient Ones are almost here and gonna kill us all, but then yeah, we get even more stupid. Batman becomes Man-Bat. He sheds his own humanity and becomes a Cthulhu monster. Why does Batman become Man-Bat? Well, because, get this, Man-Bat is blind. And he can't go insane with madness looking at the Ancient Ones. Yeah, it is stupid. It is so stupid. This is stupid. Ra's al Cthulhu is one of the weirdest out there things I have ever seen. He becomes Cthulhu in this movie. And big shock, Man-Bat easily beats him because Man-Bat can't stare at the face of the Ancient Ones and go insane with madness. It's dumb. He beats up Ra's al Cthulhu, sends it back through the portal, and closes it before the Ancient Ones can appear, saving the day. And Batman becomes Man-Bat 24/7. Yeah, Ra's al Cthulhu is one of the most bizarre and baffling things I've ever seen. This is easily one of the worst Ra's al Ghuls ever. He is going on to F tier. Alright, I see some people are leaving, so I should talk about a more obscure Ra's al Ghul. Let's talk about Arrow Ra's al Ghul. Yeah, remember, Arrow had Ra's al Ghul. Joseph left. He would have liked hearing about Ra's al Cthulhu. Alright. Now, I'm kind of on the fence about where to put Matt Nable's Ra's al Ghul. This is Ra's from Season 3 of Arrow. Now, I initially loved Arrow at first. I thought it was just dumb fun. It was cool, had fun with the DC characters, and tried to reinvent Green Arrow and his mythos like a Nolanverse movie. It was fun. And then we got to Season 3. Season 3 is not the worst season, but it's kind of the first lackluster season. I like Arrow. Oh, you do, Shadowlink. I liked Arrow at first. Seasons 1, 2, and the Prometheus season are the only good ones. Season 3 is kind of where it started getting bad, and we find out that Batman's villains are a lot more present in the Arrowverse, starting with Ra's al Ghul. Ra's al Ghul is the arch villain of Season 3 of Arrow, and he wants Green Arrow to be his successor, to be the new Demon's Head. So, A lot of convoluted stuff happens in this season, and some stuff at sheer random. It is kind of a long plot to explain. Is what next for the next tier list, as it might be on Halloween. Doing Monster Musume on Halloween anime nights. And Shadow, if you're watching this, yeah, Mon Musu's coming Halloween. Will it be a Scooby-Doo or Treehouse of Horror? No, it's Monster Musume. Arrow is the only Arrowverse show I saw every episode of. Really, Shadowlink? Damien Dark season was torture, and my brother Wolf did not like the Dragon season. I kind of agree. It was very much a step down from Prometheus. Okay, so Black Canary dies in season 3. Don't worry, it's not Laurel, it's Sarah when she was Black Canary. Black Canary gets killed, and Green Arrow and his team have to go on a murder mystery plot finding out who did it. Spoilers, it turned out it was Malcolm Merlin. Malcolm Merlin, the first villain from season 1, came back to Star City. He brainwashed Thea, his daughter, into being his own personal assassin. And Thea, as a brainwashed minion, killed Black Canary, Sarah Lance. Sarah gets shot and killed, and this is taken as an offense towards Ra's al Ghul because Black Canary was girlfriends with Ra's al Ghul's daughter, Nyssa al Ghul. Nyssa sees this as an attack towards her, leading to Nyssa and Ra's attacking Star City. So Star City kind of suddenly becomes like Gotham. He wants it like eliminated off the face of the map. They fight. Malcolm Merlin is kind of the side villain here. He is trying to make Thea into his villainous legacy. Ra's al Ghul is a villain here. He's going to invade Star City. Eventually, Malcolm Merlin convinces Oliver to help him solve both their problems. Green Arrow must fight Ra's al Ghul in a trial by combat, defending his good name, because if he doesn't, Ra's will murder both Malcolm and Thea. Thea is Oliver Queen's sister, and Ra's al Ghul wants them both dead for what they did to his daughter's girlfriend. And Oliver rather stupidly agrees to it, saying that, yes, I will fight for Thea, but not for you. He goes all the way to the Himalayas, where we finally meet Ra's al Ghul. Ra's al Ghul shows his League of Assassins, tells us who he is, and gives newbies a basic knowledge of what he's like. I'm Shadow Ravencroft, not Shadowlink. I know Shadow. What's Monster Musume? It's a fun Monster Girls anime. It's called Everyday Life with Monster Girls. It's a hilarious anime show. Alright, so Ra's goes to the Himalayas to fight Green Arrow because Green Arrow agrees with Malcolm Merlin that he'll fight in his stead. And Ra's al Ghul murders Green Arrow. Yeah, they actually try to fake us out into believing Oliver Queen, the friggin' Green Arrow, is dead. Ra's al Ghul stabs him, breaks his bones, and throws him off a cliff. And unfortunately, Oliver dies in Malcolm's place. So, through absolutely zero explanation and total BS, we find out Oliver was saved because two of the members of the League of Assassins are Katana and her husband Tatsu. They saved Oliver because Tatsu owed Oliver a favor for saving him long ago, and actually heal him back to life. Yeah, no Lazarus Pit, no magic, no medical expertise whatsoever. Katana and her husband heal Oliver after he was stabbed, broken, and thrown off a cliff. Oliver is here healing in the Himalayas for temporary, while Team Arrow holds down the fort without him. Ra's al Ghul finds out that Green Arrow is alive and sees this as a sign that he should recruit Green Arrow for the League of Assassins. Yeah, I don't get it either. He sees Green Arrow as his future successor and wants Oliver to be his new leader. Ra's al Ghul decides he wants to hand the reins over to Green Arrow, and yeah, this is one of the seasons where Green Arrow very much becomes more like Batman. He's got Ra's al Ghul as his arch enemy. Ra's wants him to fulfill his shoes, to carry on his legacy for him, and tries to force Oliver to hook up with his daughter Nyssa, which is very awkward because Nyssa is a lesbian. They kind of get confused over what relationship Ra's and Nyssa have in this show. At one point, Ra's actually cares about Nyssa, wants to avenge her dead girlfriend, but then he becomes homophobic all of a sudden and says, "No, Nyssa, you're not a lesbian, you're gonna be straight. You're gonna marry this man because I say so." Nyssa and Oliver officially get married in this season. Don't worry, it's an open marriage because both of them hate it. Nyssa and Oliver do not like each other and only marry each other because they're forced to. Oliver agrees because Ra's al Ghul actually dresses up as the Green Arrow and frames him for crimes he didn't commit. Yeah, Ra's pretends to be a fake Green Arrow, ruins his good name and reputation, and forces Oliver to join forces with him. Oliver does, he becomes evil, and it's more so showing you that Team Arrow is trying to stand without the Green Arrow as their leader, showing that the team are capable heroes. They lose Oliver, gain him back, lose him again. Oliver becomes a villain, and we find out that Oliver must fulfill the trials to become the new Demon's Head. He passes most of them except for the final one, where whoever becomes the Demon's Head has to destroy the city that they came from. And Ra's al Ghul is demanding Green Arrow nuke Star City. And boy, is this kind of stupid and really awkward. Like, imagine if the next Ra's al Ghul came from, like, LA or New York, or, heaven forbid, like Russia, Moscow, like a city that actually is on the map. But yeah, Oliver has to nuke Star City, and we were tricked into thinking, oh, Oliver's evil now and fully embraced his League of Assassins style. No, of course not. Oliver turns good, betrays Ra's, stops the nuke, and they have a final fight on a dam. Felicity wears the Atom Iron Man armor. Do not like Felicity. This is the season where she really started to get worse, but season 4 is where I lost all love for her. Monster Musume is peak. Yeah, it's a good show. I forgot why they were called the League of Shadows, then the Assassins. Well, Shadows sounds scarier, and that's what the Nolanverse used. They call them the League of Shadows, but officially they're the League of Assassins. And this is kind of where Ra's al Ghul lost a lot of points for me. In the finale episode of Season 3, Oliver and Ra's have a final fight, and Oliver uses Ra's al Ghul's own moves against him, which you would think he would recognize while fighting Oliver. Yeah, Ra's al Ghul gets murdered by the Green Arrow. He breaks his bones, uses his chakra palms on him, and stabs Ra's al Ghul, kicking him off a dam to his death. How heroic, right? Okay, so Matt Nable honestly did a good job in some areas, but his Ra's al Ghul was very inconsistent and kind of all over the place. I might have to put him onto basic training. Yeah, he'll go above the rest of these guys, but this was where Arrow really started to decay in quality, and they dropped the ball so hard on their Ra's al Ghul. Had some good moments. Matt Nable delivered a good performance, but the writing was the real problem. Ra's al Ghul was at first a cool, kick-ass, invincible villain, then suddenly he wasn't because the plot demanded it, and he was kind of all over the place, and Ra's al Ghul dressing up as Green Arrow to frame him is one of the silliest things I ever saw from Arrow. Well, up until the Flash and Godspeed's lightsaber Speed Force fights. Yeah, I remember watching a playthrough of Arkham Knight where they said something else, and I was like, no, sorry, League of Shadows is cooler. Felicity got pissed Oliver for not telling her he had a kid. He didn't know he had a kid too, and that's why I hate Felicity. Yeah, Matt Nable's Arrow Ra's al Ghul, basic training. He is a generic Ra's al Ghul. He could have been cool. He does have good moments, which is why he rises above these other lackluster guys, but the finale is where it completely torched him. He's gone right smack in the middle. Alright, final 3. Alright, let's bump off our last animated Ra's al Ghul. Batman vs. TMNT Ra's al Ghul. Who is going on to Worthy Warrior? Ra's al Ghul is one of the main villains in Batman vs. TMNT. Sorry he doesn't get a mutation, but he does get an awesome villain alliance. Batman vs. TMNT has two villains, Ra's al Ghul and the Shredder. Yes, one of the horrific, worst things to ever happen in the comics actually happened. Ra's al Ghul and the Shredder form a villain alliance. I love that movie. Yeah, me too. Ra's al Ghul and the Shredder are the two big bads of Batman vs. TMNT. The Foot Clan and the League of Assassins have formed a deadly alliance. They want to destroy and take over the world, of course. Ra's and Shredder work together and try to get rid of both their archenemies, namely Batman, who's a bigger threat. Shredder tries to kill the Dark Knight, almost succeeds, but Batman gets away. But Batman and the TMNT work together. We find out Shredder has mutagen, and he wants to give it to Ra's al Ghul to turn the League of Assassins into super soldiers. We see ninjas turning into half-human, half-animal super soldier warriors. Yep, Ra's al Ghul's league gets infected by mutagen, becoming a lot of monsters from the TMNT cartoons. Which ones? All of them. We see like an elephant man, werewolves, cat people, dog people, flyers, like a bunch of birds. One of them looks like Pigeon Pete, and a freaking T-Rex ninja. Yeah, there's a giant T-Rex League of Assassin member. They infect their ninja men with all of this and plan to turn the world into an animal kingdom. Baxter Stockman built like a super duper weather dominator drone, hooking it up with the mutagen. Thanks to Ra's al Ghul and Shredder's resources combined, they will infect all of Gotham City, turning it into an animal kingdom for which they will rule. Shredder helps Ra's al Ghul take over Gotham City, while in turn, Ra's al Ghul gives the Shredder his Lazarus Pit. Yep, Shredder wants to be immortal, and it's kind of a begrudging alliance at first, but Ra's al Ghul and Shredder both really kick ass. Why he's going on to A is because we see this Ra's al Ghul full-blown kill people. Yeah, Ra's al Ghul and the Shredder, when they break into Arkham Asylum, both of them dispatch a bunch of innocent security guards, and Ra's and Shredder full-blown kill people. Ra's beheads a guy, goes all ninja master on them, stabs them, shanks them, Halo assassinates them, beheads them, and one of the creepiest scenes is where he sneaks up on a guy watching the monitors, and we see him, like, pulling out a giant scimitar planning to kill him. That is a very, very creepy, unholy shot. What animal would fit Ra's? If Ra's al Ghul did get infected, I would have imagined him being like a king cobra, because he is immortal, always sheds his old life, so it's like a metaphor for shedding his skin. I would think he would have fit a king cobra more than the Joker did. Or maybe a cockroach, because cockroaches can survive nuclear Armageddon. Maybe a death hawk moth. Yeah, that would have been cool. Death Head Hawk Moth. That would have been awesome. Yeah, sadly, Ra's does not get infected by mutagen or chemicals at any point, but he does have a fight against Batman and the TMNT. They give the Joker the mutagen bile in exchange for his Joker Venom recipe. Ra's and Joker actually get along in this movie. They trade their secret recipes, and Joker is hired as a distraction for Batman and the Turtles while they finish their ultimate evil plan. However, Batman and the Turtles finally become friends and work together in the climax, and I do like that they switch up opponents. Ra's al Ghul fights Leonardo, while Batman fights the Shredder. Yeah, Batman fights the Shredder. Cowabunga. What? Cowabunga? While Ra's al Ghul has a fight against Leo, and why he also wins A tier, not only does Ra's kill people, Ra's like completely broke Donatello's leg and arm. Yeah, Donnie tries to take on Al Ghul and loses badly to him. We actually see Ra's al Ghul snap his limbs. It is pretty hardcore for a cartoon movie. Ra's nearly kills Donnie, but Leonardo steps in and defeats him in a hilarious way. "You can't defeat me, child. I lived for centuries and was trained under the greatest warriors who ever lived." And Leonardo kicks Ra's al Ghul in the nuts. "Well, I learned that fighting on the street." It is a hilarious scene, yeah. Ra's al Ghul getting a nut shot was something I never expected to see, but it was hilarious. Leo kicks Ra's in the nuts and beats him with his shell. Yeah, Leonardo defeats the demon's head. That is awesome. Yeah, I'll put him on to A tier. This was a cool Ra's al Ghul. Oh, and if you haven't watched the movie, of course the turtles win. They sabotage the machine and they capture Ra's al Ghul, but Shredder seemingly dies, only to become Joker Shredder, which will be in the sequel, which still hasn't happened yet. Yeah, Ra's al Ghul getting kicked in the nuts. One of the funniest scenes of the movie. Yeah, I'll put him on to awesome. This was a really kick-ass Ra's al Ghul, and seeing Ra's fight a Ninja Turtle is awesome. That movie is perfection. Turtle-tacular. Yeah, I'll put him on to Worthy Warrior. Unfortunately, he didn't get to do much because admittedly, he was outclassed by the Joker and the other mutants. I don't think anyone's gonna complain that the highlight of the movie was seeing all of Batman's rogues gallery turn into mutant monsters. Ra's was cool, but definitely seeing Joker and all the other villains turn to monsters, that definitely overshadowed him. Yeah, I'll put him onto A tier. Alright, final two, and they're two good ones. Hey, just got back from a Halloween party. Oh, really, Tails? Glad you can make it. On our final two, Ra's al Ghul, so still some stuff to talk about. Let's bump off Gotham Ra's al Ghul, who, believe it or not, is going on to S tier. Yeah, I'll put him under Liam Neeson. This is Ra's al Ghul from the underrated show Gotham. My virus detector. Don't worry about that. I love how Gotham portrayed Ra's al Ghul. So, the only bad thing I have to say about him is he's not in the show as long as you think. So, Ra's al Ghul does not debut until season 3 of Gotham. Yeah, it goes on for a while. Gotham is very story arc driven, and they set up all of Batman's other villains. We see Jerome and Jeremiah Valeska, Selina Kyle, the Penguin and Riddler are two huge characters on there. But while this is going on, we do follow Bruce Wayne's arc. Bruce is becoming Batman and trying to find out who killed his parents. It was not a simple mugging gone wrong. It was a conspiracy. It turns out Batman's parents were shot and it was orchestrated by a puppet master. And we go through a lot during this arc. They drag it out for a while until season 3 reveals who it was. Bruce finds out that there's an entire chain organizations who are conspiring to have the Waynes killed. And this chain goes all the way up to the Demon's Head. Hey, just got back from a Halloween party. Good to see you again, Tails. Yeah, so they chase Batman's killer. It was Matches Malone in this case. Matches is more or less Joe Chill. We find out it's Matches Malone, but he was really working for Hugo Strange. But Hugo Strange was really working for the Court of Owls. But the Court of Owls were really working for the League of Assassins. The League of Assassins is introduced in season 3. The Sensei acts as this caring mentor towards Bruce, actually befriends him, and shows him what they do, why they did it, and that they weren't really trying to kill them. They had an ultimate endgame, but it turns out this sensei wasn't even the real head demon. It was Ra's al Ghul. Yeah, after a dozen or so fake-out villains or lowly men on the totem pole who serve a much higher power. Yeah, it's like, we go through a lot of fake-out villains, a lot of evil organizations, and we find out, who do they answer to? Ra's al Ghul. Yeah, what a shock. Ra's al Ghul is the head of all these organizations, and they're really a secret evil Illuminati who had the Wayne parents killed because they were a threat towards their plan. The Waynes were making Gotham better, while exactly like in the Nolanverse, they were making things worse. The League were trying to slowly destroy Gotham City, but had the parents killed, and Bruce works his way up to Ra's al Ghul, actually impressing Ra's al Ghul. Yeah, Bruce impresses Ra's with how devoted he was to finding him, with how devoted he was to saving Gotham and being better, and he has Bruce kill Alfred. Bruce is completely brainwashed by the League of Assassins in this show, so he's no Christian Bale. Yeah, Bruce gets brainwashed and he murders Alfred, kind of hilariously too. Had dinner, what I miss. We're on Gotham, Ra's al Ghul Shadowlink, and he's on S tier. You missed us talk about Arrowverse Ra's al Ghul, but we're on Gotham's Ra's, who is actually on S tier. I really like this guy. So, Ra's actually only appears in a few episodes in his first season. He appears in season 3. Bruce murders Alfred, kind of hilariously so. He says, "I know you won't kill me, Bruce, because you love me." And Bruce like impales him with a sword, screaming. It is unintentionally hilarious, but Alfred dies, Bruce comes to his senses, realizes what he's done, and he begs for a chance to save Alfred, and in comes Ra's al Ghul. Ra's tells him, "The waters, Bruce. Use the waters to save him," teasing that this is a Lazarus pit. Bruce brings Alfred to a small Lazarus pit, bathes his butler in it, saving his life, and Ra's tells Bruce that he will see him again. And yeah, he returns in season 4. Ra's al Ghul kind of becomes the arc villain in the penultimate season. I see you did Arrow Ra's. Yeah, he was a bit weak among season 3. That and his anticlimactic death also hurt him. Yeah, if you can't see. We also talked about Ra's al Cthulhu, who's on Fallen Warrior here. Gotham Ra's was pretty cool, especially his first appearance. I love how sinister and mischievous this Ra's is. He appears like all in his cloak, his villain gear, tells Bruce that you can save him, and he says he'll see Bruce again. Ra's al Ghul is actually impressed by Bruce Wayne, his sheer determination, and following the trials of the League without fail, and actually standing up to him. He realizes that he sees Bruce as a replacement. He tries to get Bruce to be the new head demon. So, Barbara Gordon, unfortunately, has a major plot role in this season. Barbara Gordon dates Ra's al Ghul. Yeah, I do not like the Barbara Gordon character. They gave her way too much focus. She started out initially cool, and I do like her rise as a villain, but they show her way too much favoritism, and Barbara is actually the reincarnation of Ra's al Ghul's lover. Yeah, there's like this old-timey, centuries-old portrait of Ra's standing next to a woman he loves, and that woman looks like Barbara. And Barbara gets recruited to the League of Assassins. Yeah, Jim Gordon's psycho ex-girlfriend becomes Ra's al Ghul's lover. I never really watched Gotham. Oh, you're kind of missing out, Shadow. It was actually a pretty good show. Shadow Ravencroft. I know Shadow Link saw the cool Gotham classic. Yeah, I thought it was cool. So, yeah, Barbara Gordon gets a lot of favoritism. Ra's al Ghul gets betrayed by her. He reveals that, he wasn't going to pass on the League to her. He was passing it on to Bruce. Barbara pulls a Starscream. Ra's al Ghul dies. Then he comes back as the Mummy. He looks like Imhotep. I love this design for him. Ra's al Ghul becomes like a bony Grim Reaper looking guy. They use the Lazarus Pit to revive him. Barbara needs him. Barbara tries to assassinate him again to follow like the right ritual to finally inherit the League. Nope, it doesn't kill him. She needs Bruce's help, and Ra's al Ghul teams up with the Joker. Unfortunately, Jeremiah Joker. Yeah, Jerome is now long dead, and Jeremiah becomes the real Joker. And we actually get a pretty rare team up. Joker and Ra's al Ghul work together to bomb Gotham City. They stole technology from Wayne Industries, converted his Tesla coil energy stuff into nuclear bombs. I personally prefer Tigress over Barbara personally. Understandable, Shadow Link. Unfortunately, Tigress was not too much like her usual self either. Yeah, Ra's al Ghul and Jeremiah Joker work together and they try to bomb Gotham City. Barbara and Bruce work together to slay Ra's al Ghul. She realizes that because Bruce was destined to become the Demon's Head, they need to use him and this sacred dagger to finally kill the immortal warrior. Ra's al Ghul actually has lived in the Crusade time period. I do love that they actually show how long this Ra's has lived. We see his past, how he fought in the Crusades and discovered the Lazarus Pit. He is now immortal thanks to its magic waters, and the only thing that can kill him is this sacred magic MacGuffin dagger, and Barbara and Bruce use it together to finally stab Ra's al Ghul in the heart. They kill and betray Ra's al Ghul, he dies, and Barbara Gordon inherits the League of Assassins. Yeah, Bruce doesn't want it, but Barbara takes it, and she turns into a deranged feminazi, kills all the men, and forces the girl assassins to join her, because Barbara became a girl power supervillain, which makes no sense because Butch is still a part of her team and he's the token guy. Sigh. Yeah, I definitely have mixed thoughts with Jeremiah replacing Jerome, but that's for another time. Yeah, I know, we'll eventually talk about that. So, I love Cameron Monaghan, he's a good Joker, but like everyone else, he was better as Jerome than Jeremiah. But yeah, Ra's al Ghul actually dies in this series, but I really like him. We got to see Ra's al Ghul as his normal self, as his younger self, and love the mummy design they gave him. This is my favorite Ra's al Ghul design. He's this bony skeleton Grim Reaper looking dude, wears a hood and cloak over himself. He looks that way until he bathes in the Lazarus Pit enough to restore himself to full health. But yeah, this was an underrated Ra's al Ghul. Ra's was surprisingly one of the best villains of Gotham. He did not disappoint. Love the actor who played him. Love how they wrote him, how they portrayed him. The worst thing about him, though, is he does kind of fall in love with Barbara Gordon, and Barbara hijacks the League of Assassins. One of the dumbest choices ever. Also completely meaningless because she loses her power by the time we get to the finale. But yeah, this Ra's al Ghul, he's going on to Demon's Head. Yeah, Barbara was not my favorite character. But we made it to the last one. And let's end things on the high note of all high notes. Arkham vs. Ra's al Ghul. You'll never leave this chamber alive. Ra's al Ghul, Ra's al Ghul, Ra's al Ghul. Yeah, D. Bradley Baker's Ra's is going on Demon's Head. Okay. Do I love him more than David Warner or not? Alright. For you, Warner, I'll put him in second place. Yep. Made it to Arkham vs. Ra's al Ghul. And unsurprisingly, he is badass. Yeah. Who doesn't love the Arkhamverse? Arkhamverse has the best depictions of most of Batman's characters. And Ra's al Ghul, surprisingly, was one of the top tier. Ra's al Ghul is in only Arkham City and Arkham Knight. He's alluded to in Arkham Asylum and Origins. He's one of the optional biographies in Arkham Asylum. You technically do see him as a corpse in Arkham Asylum, but he's alive by the time of Arkham City, and they do reference it. But yeah, he plays a more plot-relevant role in City and Night. So, he does cameo as a dead body at Dr. Young's morgue. She, has Ra's al Ghul's body there, and if you scan this body, it unlocks the Ra's al Ghul bio. And fun fact, if you go here after the game ends, after you win the main campaign and defeat Titan Joker, and are, scanning for Riddler trophies, the corpse disappears. And it's confirmed canon in Arkham City. He was dead, but came back to life. Ra's al Ghul officially debuts in Arkham City, voiced by the clones himself, D. Bradley Baker, and I love Baker's vocal performance. Baker has a really bone-chilling Ra's al Ghul voice. Apparently there was a lot of controversy around this because D. Bradley Baker was a white guy voicing an Asian dude. I did not have a problem with that. Nobody complained about Stanya Katic voicing Talia al Ghul, who was a brown girl, but yeah, Ra's al Ghul officially is in Arkham City. Batman is suffering from Titan poisoning thanks to the Joker, and he needs to find Ra's al Ghul because his blood is useful for Mr. Freeze's cure. Because Ra's al Ghul revives himself with the Lazarus Pit multiple times, it can help Mr. Freeze concoct a cure for the Titan virus. So, Batman finds out the League of Assassins are here in Arkham City. Yep, even Ra's al Ghul was thrown into Arkham City. He and his League of Assassins are based underground in the abandoned ruins of Wonder City. Since Ra's al Ghul and Mr. Freeze have the best boss fights in Arkham City, who would win in a fight, Ra's or Freeze? That is difficult. I think Freeze can definitely last longer than most, but I might go with Ra's because he's not afraid to kill, and he can easily cut Freeze's suit down to size. Yeah, Ra's is here in Arkham City. He's hiding underground. Batman finds out Ra's is here because one of the ninjas in Penguin's prison cells is actually one of Talia's bodyguards. Through a lot of adventuring and semantics, Batman puts a tracer on the ninja girl, follows her all the way down to Wonder City because Bruce needs to talk to Ra's and Talia. Talia comes out, and I do love Talia's Arkham City design. Yeah, this is definitely another sexy Arkhamverse woman, though Catwoman is my number one, of course. Talia al Ghul comes in doing her sexy strut, and actually falls for Batman's lies. Batman is ready to join the League and replace Ra's al Ghul. Talia completely falls for it, takes him to the trials, and I will point this out, I do not like the trials very much. I think it's a very slow breather level. Yeah, I know after everything that's happened, a lot of people would like to take it easy in the Arkham campaign, but honestly found them really too easy and boring. Ra's al Ghul shows up as a Force ghost, guiding Batman through the trials of becoming the Demon's Head. And these trials are basically flying around and beating up some Sandman ninjas. Yeah, kind of anticlimactic, honestly, but the high point is when we finally meet Ra's al Ghul. So, after you do some flying, platforming, and beating up sand ninjas, you finally talk to Ra's al Ghul. Ra's is completely elderly, decrepit, and dying here, telling Batman that you must pass the final test. Kill me, Dark Knight. But Batman being Batman doesn't do it. I won't kill Ra's, not even you. And that is your final answer? Ra's al Ghul, beyond pissed by this point, dumps into the Lazarus Pit, turning him into this really creepy, demonic-looking warrior. Ra's al Ghul comes out, we hear an epic choir, a choir chorus, that was what I was trying to say. We hear a choir chorus going on, it is pretty epic, and D. Bradley Baker pretty much knocks it out of the park as Ra's al Ghul. Batman suffers a weird trippy hallucination and fights Ra's in this weird nightmare world. You'll never leave this chamber alive. Sorry, I need some water. And if you didn't see my Arkham bosses tier, I love this boss fight. Ra's al Ghul turns into a giant Sandman, is turning into 1,000 sand warriors jumping you. We are Legion. D. Bradley Baker gives some bone-chilling one-liners. He fights Batman as a ninja, then with goons, and then turns into a giant Sandman, hucking ninja stars and a giant blade at you, sending out Freddy Krueger claws slicing your way. It is one of the greatest boss fights I've ever seen. It is fun, fast-paced, energetic, and demands that you ultimately utilize Batman in every way. In your combat with your gadgets, you have to zap him with the electro tool. It is pretty cool. Where was Talia's sister Nissa? We met in Arkham Knight during the other 3 games. They do mention in Arkham Knight, Nissa is the black sheep of the family. Nissa was the good member of the Al Ghul family. She wanted to save lives and do good, unlike Ray, she wanted to end lives and kill criminals. Yeah, Arkham Knight mentions that Nissa had a falling out with her family. That's why we don't see her until Arkham Knight. She was kind of like in hiding until she made her power play. But yeah, after this really epic and cool boss fight, Batman ultimately defeats Ra's by throwing the reverse batarang at him. Kind of sad that Ra's al Ghul goes out the same way Victor Zsasz does. But yeah, you clobber him, Batman takes a blood sample on him, warns him to stay out of Gotham, to never come back, and to avoid his addiction to the Lazarus Pit. Ra's is completely consumed by the pit, and they set up a few plot threads. We would not see them followed up until Arkham Knight. He's like addicted to the pit and trying to kick his addiction, accept death, but he just can't do it. And that's the last we see of Ra's until we get to the big twist. So, you finally dethrone Hugo Strange, climb up to Wonder Tower, fight all his guards, all his obstacles. Batman shuts down Protocol 10, and it turns out it was Ra's all along. Ra's al Ghul literally stabs Hugo Strange in the back when he fails, and tells him that it's over. They tried to make Protocol 10 the salvation of Gotham. What is the infamous Protocol 10? Basically, kill every prisoner. They lured every criminal scum in Gotham, including all the supervillains in Arkham City, to genocide them. The Tiger Guards are ordered to execute all prisoners if Protocol 10 is ever activated. And this was Hugo and Ra's plan to clean up crime in Gotham City. And Hugo Strange was trying to become the new head demon. Yeah, rather than replace Batman, he wants to become Hugo Strange's successor. Which choice is canon in Arkham Knight, giving Ra's the cure or destroying the cure and the machine? I would say destroying the machine, but depending on what choice you want, that's the canon ending, they would say. Yeah, Hugo Strange unfortunately never gets a cool boss fight. I really liked Hugo Strange in this game, but yeah, he is stabbed in the back by Ra's al Ghul, and it turns out Ra's was the man behind the man. He was the true power, the puppet master, the one pulling all the strings. Ra's reveals that he wanted to do Protocol 10 to wipe out crime in Gotham through his genocidal evil means, and Hugo Strange would have been his successor, but he failed. But I did so much. I almost won. I should be your successor. Indeed, you've proven that the Batman is better than you. And yeah, Hugo Strange dies, but he gives one final screw you towards Ra's. He self-destructs the Wonder City Tower, and Ra's al Ghul dies. Yeah, Batman and Ra's both leap out of the tower. Batman tries to save Ra's, but Ra's seppukus himself. He stabs himself in the chest with a katana blade and has a really gruesome death. He's impaled on the Arkham City sign. Yeah, it's kind of karma. His symbolism. Ra's al Ghul was killed by the very institute he went out of his way to build. Ra's al Ghul falls from the tower, stabs himself, then he's impaled on the Arkham City sign, and yeah, it's pretty savage. So, we would think this was the end of Ra's al Ghul, but as Batman says, he's gonna need another trip to the Lazarus Pit. And it turns out that did happen. Exactly like Arkham Asylum, if you return to Ra's death site after the game, after you completed everything, you find Ra's al Ghul's body is gone, where we would not see him again until Arkham Knight. Okay, so Ra's al Ghul is teased at in Arkham Origins. We hear that Lady Shiva is here, and she mentions her master. It's very obvious, Ra's al Ghul. Lady Shiva is sent in to test Batman's skills. She was not working for the reward money, but for her master. Batman passed the test, and we learn Lady Shiva was a liaison for Ra's al Ghul to talk to Quincy Sharp and Hugo Strange, and hinting that Arkham City was going to happen sometime in the future, or basically kind of shill the Arkham City game if you're playing Arkham Origins instead of that. The potty could have just despawned. Yeah. Okay, so we would officially see Raish one last time in Arkham Knight. Raish is in the Season of Infamy DLC, so if you don't have this, sorry you don't see him in the main campaign. You get like a bunch of bios and backstories about what happened. So, after Ra's al Ghul's death and defeat in Arkham City, Nissa al Ghul, his black sheep daughter, returned to take the League of Assassins for herself. And there's a League of Assassins civil war. Those who work for Raish and those who work for Nissa. And the League of Assassins are now killing each other. They're fighting each other because they need a new leader. Ra's al Ghul is alive, but all his addiction to the Lazarus Pit has completely deformed him. Ra's al Ghul looks like this creepy aged old man dying mutant. He's like hooked up to like a life support machine, has glowing green veins and eyes. Looks horribly out of shape. He is not in the best of health like he was in the last game. He's slowly dying, and he needs another sample of the Lazarus to be restored to full health. Batman finds Ra's al Ghul, learns that the League is in town, and honestly kind of sad and desperate now. The League went from completely in control in Arkham City to literally recruiting random gang thugs off the streets. Yeah, if you listen to like one goon interaction or one of the cutscenes, pay attention to who you're fighting. There's actually like normal regular goons signing up for the League of Assassins because they are now desperate for new recruits. The League is almost kaput. They're dying, they're losing their numbers, and this civil war has costed everything. This is like one last ditch effort, finding a new boss. The League implore Batman to find a cure because Ra's and Batman were once friends. Bruce finds Ra's al Ghul dying, hooked up to a life support machine, barely can talk. He is that out of it. All his aging is catching up to him, and he's now like this decrepit mummy looking guy. He needs one drop of Lazarus to save his life. Unfortunately, there's only one pit, and it's safeguarded by Nissa's goons. Where was Shiva during Arkham Asylum City and Night? My point exactly, Fatal Waffle. She was nowhere. I wanted to see Lady Shiva again. They set her up like she's gonna be important, that Ra's and Shiva were almost gonna be the villains of Arkham Knight, but no, it never happened, and Shiva awkwardly disappeared. I assume Shiva is now a mercenary for hire, or running her own gang like she did in the comics. At some point, she left the League. The body could have just despawned. Okay, so Batman finds a cure and talks to Nissa al Ghul. Nissa reveals that she's actually a good guy and wants to rebuild the League of Assassins or League of Shadows from scratch. Wants to form a good organization, use all of the remaining people and resources to bring justice, and disband Ra's al Ghul's regime. She gives Batman a sample of the Lazarus, but ultimately destroys the last pit. And yeah, it is kind of sorry, find the right words. Kind of dramatic that this is the last Lazarus pit and it's almost dried up. All the Lazarus pits are gone. This is the last one, and it's kind of this really tiny looking fountain thing. It's like a fountain you'd see. It's an empty pool and there's only a little left. Batman gets his sample, but Nissa implores Batman to let Ra's al Ghul die so she can take over the League of Shadows and lead it down a more noble path. And this is ultimately a choice in the game. You have to choose either give the cure to Ra's or sabotage his machine and end him. There's a lot of Alfred saying, well, you know, it's technically not murder, but giving the cure to Ra's seems like a stupid idea because we all know Ra's al Ghul's evil. Yeah, you have the choice to either destroy the cure and the machine or give Ra's the cure and save his life. I honestly always choose Nissa's side because it makes the most sense. Yeah, the only debate about this is Batman killing Ra's al Ghul. And yeah, I picked destroying the cure because Ra's al Ghul is a dangerous threat, and considering what happens at the end of the game, maybe ending him as a threat is a smart choice. If you cure Ra's al Ghul, he's back to himself and he kills Nissa. Either Nissa dies in the Ra's Lives ending, or Ra's officially loses in the end and is pretty pretty much doomed to die. Batman technically doesn't kill him in the end. He destroys his life support machine, and you have a fight against goons, ninja girls, and martial artists. You either fight Nissa's goons, who are all in white, or Ra's al Ghul's goons, who are all in black, because it was easier to program. Yeah, I always choose to destroy the machine in Arkham Knight. I do too, because that makes the most sense. It's like, this guy is a serious threat and will definitely carry on his evil ways, even if Batman does save him. And considering what we saw in Arkham City, yeah, killing Ra's is a good idea. Yeah, I always pick the destroy the machine and cure ending because Ra's al Ghul's evil. Yeah, he kills Nissa if you save his life. That's how evil he is. But if you ultimately kill him, Ra's is locked up, he's defeated, and put into a prison cell finally. Now this very sad, dethroned, dying old man. He actually thanks the detective, either because he is proud that Batman finally killed him, or because he's gonna put Ra's out of his misery thanks to this choice. I do kind of pick the later, that Ra's saw Bruce as a worthy opponent, and pretty much the only one worthy of killing him. But yeah, Ra's al Ghul either gets away and now has to start the league from scratch, or dies a pathetic old crone in a prison cell until his final days, ending Ra's al Ghul's legacy, and that's the ending I kind of prefer as canon. But anyways, Ra's al Ghul gone on to S tier. I have to choose to give him the cure once just to see what happens. I did that too, and regretted it because Nissa dies. Yeah, Nissa dies if you give him the cure. He kills his only remaining daughter and pretty much shows you that this Ra's is indeed evil because he actually went through with killing one of his kids. Yeah, Talia's dead. He doesn't shed a single tear over her death, and Nissa gets killed by his own blade. Yes, this Ra's is evil. But to wrap up, yeah, Arkham vs. Ra's, he is awesome. I love this design. I love Dee Bradley's vocal performance. I love the boss fight especially. That's why he's this high up. And his role in the story is pretty good. Ra's al Ghul has never been one of my favorite characters, but the Arkhamverse completely turned me around on him. I love this depiction of the character. He's cool, he's badass, he's sinister, he's a strategic villain, and a very tough boss fight. This Ra's al Ghul is definitely a worthy demon's head. Why did Ra's say he's proud of the detective? He destroyed the machine and locked him up. I believe it's because he's proud that Batman finally gave in and killed him. Batman's technically not killing him, but he's allowing him to die. Yeah, he's proud because Batman was the opponent who finally defeated him, and Ra's has been kind of goading Bruce into killing him in basically his entire career. He wants Bruce to kill him because he sees that as a rite of passage into becoming his successor. And Bruce finally technically killed him. Yeah, it was on a technicality, but that's why he kind of says, I'm proud of you. I suspect it's because he sees Bruce as finally fulfilling his destiny and killing Ra's al Ghul. Though it could also be he saw him as a worthy opponent and was thankful for it. Yeah, Ra's is locked in prison, in the good ending, I would say, but yeah, Arkham vs. Ra's is so impressive. I'm not even a huge fan of this character, but the Arkham vs. Ra's made me into a fan of this character. That's how good he was. He is definitely a worthy demon head. And as you can see, we did it. We completed them all. We talked about every Ra's al Ghul. Alright, so I'll go over this list one last time for any of you who are late to the party, or for those of you who skip-click to the end to see my ranking in full. But actually, we have a surprisingly good tier list on here, but I'll go over it one last time. Hoping to also read over comments one last time, too. This was a fun one. I had a very variety of Ra's al Ghuls on here. A lot of good, a lot of okay, and a few bad ones, but we'll go over it one last time. Ra's al Ghul needs to be playable. He should, but he's only playable in a Lego game. Yeah, sorry, not counting Lego Ra's al Ghul because he's only in DLC or bonus content. He's not actually in the story. But yeah, we'll go over it one last time. So, who are my worst Ra's al Ghuls? Got 3 of them. Son of Batman Raish, who is pretty much punk killed in his debut movie. Yeah, they did Ra's al Ghul so dirty. He gets killed by Deathstroke and loses everything to Slade because Slade was throwing a temper tantrum that Ra's chose his grandson to be the new head of the League of Assassins over him. And Ra's al Ghul goes out like a punk, dying in his first movie. Yeah, F tier, this one sucks. Ra's al Cthulhu. Ra's al Ghul becomes Cthulhu. That in and of itself is so stupid, I hate it. And Dark Tomorrow, Ra's al Ghul, he's a crappy Ra's from a crappy game. All three of these guys, they're the worst depictions ever. They are garbage. They're fallen warriors. Playable Ra's al Ghul, only in a Lego game. Next, Barely an Al Ghul, the Weak Ducks, Injustice Ra's, who a lot of people forgot was even in the movie. He's a final boss for Damian Wayne in an arc I didn't like. Yeah, he's barely an Al Ghul. And Gotham Knights Ra's. His one badass moment is he kills Batman, and then he's completely forgotten about. Yeah, these two, pretty much an afterthought. Ra's al Ghul, don't care for them. Ra's al Ghul, the only one I don't know. Batman Ninja Ra's al Ghul. I gotta see the sequel. I saw and liked the first one. The second one I have not seen yet. Unfortunately, I can't judge. He's going on to Ra's al Ghul. Next, our basic ones. Basic training Ra's al Ghuls. Brave and the Bold Ra's. Barely did anything, was really underutilized, and he's also one of the few villains to die. Beware the Bat, Ra's al Ghul. Lance Reddick, you deserve so much better. This Ra's was painfully average and generic. I kind of forget he was even in the cartoon because I loved Lady Shiva a lot more. DC Superhero Girls Ra's. Yeah, he has his funny moments. Entertaining, definitely a fun and unique take on the character. Unfortunately, he only had one episode, and he didn't have enough time to shine for me. My brother Wolf likes this one, but to me, he's okay. And Arrow Ra's al Ghul. Oh, Matt Nable, you started out so cool. You were fun, you were badass, and you killed the Green Arrow. And then you got nerfed in your final episode. Yeah, Ra's al Ghul kind of fell off a cliff near the end of the Season 3 arc. He was almost good, but ended up okay. Then our A tier, the Worthy Warriors, Under the Red Hood Ra's. Actually like this morally gray sympathetic take on the demon. He is definitely an interesting take on Ra's al Ghul. I'll put him onto A tier. Oded Fetter's Young Justice Ra's al Ghul. Yeah, he was cool. I wish he got more episodes, but tragically he didn't, and unfortunately he's on A tier because he got dethroned by Slade off screen. This Ra's could have been so cool, but ended up sidelined because Greg Weisman became a terrible writer in the final 2 seasons. And Batman vs. TMNT Ra's. Yeah, the movie's awesome, and Ra's al Ghul is scary in this movie. I give him points for that. Absolutely funny that he got nut shot by Leonardo, but Ra's al Ghul versus Leo is a big reason why he's on top of the A class. All three of these guys, they are worthy warriors. And yet, Season 4 of Arrow is even worse. Yeah, it was even worse. Yeah, I know that. Hated Damien Dark. Ra's should be in Injustice 3. That could be interesting. Injustice 2, Dr. Fate, Demons Must Be Slain. Alright, so who are our S-tier Demons Heads S-tier Ra's al Ghuls? Got our top 4. Gotham Ra's al Ghul. Yeah, he was so cool in this show. He was suave, he was sadistic, he was strategic, and he even had a lot of cool designs showing Ra's in different eras of his life. This was an underrated Ra's al Ghul. Gotham shocked me with how good the Demon's Head was. He is on S-tier. Liam Neeson's Ra's al Ghul. Yeah, wasn't really any doubt. The Nolan-verse is awesome, and Batman Begins gave us an underrated Ra's al Ghul too. He was cool, he was fun, he was threatening, and he had an epic final fight with Batman on a subway train. This was one of my favorite live-action Ra's al Ghuls ever. Liam Neeson's my favorite actor, and he became a favorite Ra's. Arkhamverse Ra's al Ghul. Yeah, also, is there really any surprise? The Arkhamverse is awesome. D. Bradley Baker should voice Ra's al Ghul more often because he's got a killer voice and one of the best boss fights ever. He is S tier for sure. But number 1, surprisingly goes to the animated series for once. David Warner's Ra's al Ghul. Yeah, this show gave Ra's absolute justice. David Warner is iconic as Ra's al Ghul, and wouldn't you know, Paul Dini and Bruce Timm did it again. They made this villain a household name with some of the best episodes of the series. He was so awesome, slick, intimidating, and David Warner just captured that creepy villain charm to him. He was so badass that he made it to Batman Beyond. He lived that long. Batman the Animated Series / DCAU Ra's al Ghul is my #1 demon head. And as you can see, that pretty much completes our tier list. Yeah, we actually got through them all. Talked a lot about Ra's al Ghul. As you can see, we had some top tier Ra's al Ghuls and a lot of decent ones, some middling ones, but very few bad ones. Yeah, unsurprisingly, Dark Tomorrow and Ra's al Cthulhu were terrible, but worst has to go to son of Batman Ra's al Ghul, who died in the start of his own movie. #1, David Warner for sure. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised. I thought it would be Liam Neeson or Arkham City Ra's, but no, David Warner is fantastic. He's a phenomenal Al Ghul. In that case, have D. Bradley Baker voice Ra's in Injustice 3 if that happens. Yeah, he should. I love D. Bradley Baker's voice as Ra's al Ghul. He'd be perfect. If Ra's al Ghul is playable in Injustice 3, I will look forward to it. And then I might have to redo this tier list again with how he is in the actual games. Don't worry, I will not be impressed by the movies Ra's al Ghul. But got that. #1 is David Warner, and dead last is son of Batman Ra's. Appropriately translated to SOB Ra's. Yeah, so take one last snapshot if you can't see the ranking in full. Had a lot more good in Ra's al Ghul, and I'm kind of surprised at that. But I do kind of enjoy this character for some depictions. We do have an equal that missed the mark, but overall, this was a good tier list because we had a lot of good Ra's al Ghuls. So, thank you all for watching. What will be our next tier list? I plan to do Monster Musume Everyday Life with Monster Girls tier list this Halloween, and Wolf is joining me, so check that out. Yeah, that's the most likely one. We're gonna do Monster Musume for Halloween because it's perfect timing. Next video, we are working on Goosebumps. Look forward to that. Have a Goosebumps tale in development, but Wolf's computer kind of crashed on us, so we got it fixed. We're working on it right now. Hoping to get it out by October time for that special holiday, but we'll see. Yeah, Goosebumps is coming next. Look forward to that. Next tier list, Monster Musume for sure. I want to do that. But yeah, that pretty much completes our tier list. Thank you all for joining us. Glad you stuck around this long, so I'll finally show you mercy and wrap it up. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, or just tune in for more videos posted here on Wolf Entertainment. I'm your host, Catastrophe, and I'll see you all next time. See you later. Can't wait to see Halloween for some monstrous waifus. Bye, Fatal Waffle. Bye, everyone. Great video. Yeah, thanks for watching. See you all next time. Same cat time, same cat channel.